DFCRadio.com.
The cannabis portion of this show is designed as entertainment only for legal medicinal cannabis patients over 21 years of age and is not meant to encourage any other activity or use. Yeah, dick.
Talking about the Htgs show. Knowing someone better than your show. Everybody knowing this whole show. Yeah. Talking about the Htgs show.
This is fantastic. What is? Welcome to another high energy episode of Htgs Grow Show.
Feel the energy.
A show where we let spiders form colonies on our faces and call them beards.
They're having a meeting and shit.
Hey, I'm not dissing you, Jiggity. My beard is just as scraggly as yours. Not as scraggly, but in a couple months it will be.
I'm like a cross of a homeless met a fucking terrorist.
I know. You smell like a homeless and everyone thinks you're terrible. Just can you put on your headset? Come on. There's funny things going on. Did you not know? Welcome to Htgs Grow Show, the one and only cannabis grow related show that hooks you up just for calling in. Talking grow, talking cannabis. We're actually cooking with cannabis again tonight. We're growing with cannabis. We got Dylan here as well talking CAD design. Is that redundant? Is it like ATM machine? Isn't the D in CAD for design? So if you say CAD design, it's like
right.
It's like ATM machine, even though it stands for auto. So you're really saying automated teller machine?
Yeah, you're basically saying computer-aided design.
Well, dude, Dylan is actually one of the people that designed one of the first, we'll call it Jungle Boys facilities way back in the day. So before they were the Jungle Boys, this guy designed their first
like 5 years ago?
Well, Dylan actually is state-of-the-art man. He knows his shit. He knows his grow room layout. So when he comes on, I want you to have your grow room layout questions. He designs big facilities, but I'm sure he's going to accommodate the home grower too. So, call in 562-653-0707. We have a little bit of settling to do. I didn't bring the scale last week, but I did bring it this week. 2 weeks ago, we had the grand prize question of what was the total combined weight of myself, Jiggity Jerome, and Horty Chris. I said I'm 301 pounds. Jiggity Jerome were you at 242, and Horty Chris was at 285. Right? If anyone has a calculator, you can add that up for me. I went to Long Beach Public School System, so one digit is the amount that I could add up.
So are we all going to stand on this at once?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
What is it, a truck scale?
If you hold one light worth of your weed, you'll be like 400 pounds.
None of you guys have been fucking fluctuating on me, have you?
No, and
Oh,
in
yeah,
fact,
I probably have gone up.
I starved myself
I've been
this
eating
week.
and drinking like crazy the last 2
Yeah,
weeks.
we were at
At
the
the
Dodger
Dodger
game
game,
with you,
right,
buddy.
uh-huh. Yeah, Mr. Blacked Out Peanut Thrower.
I was just showing. I was hoping the scouts would see my arm and how good an aim I had when Kenley Jansen was blowing the saves again. Shout out to Miller Soils. Shout out to Honor the Plant. Lewis, James, and Mark sponsored the Heavy Tea the Dodger sweepstakes because growers needed a day off too. That was Saturday. It was a great ball of fun. Yep. People kept buying me drinks, so I blacked out real quick. Like Jiggity Jerome disappeared for a while. I think he has that thing where he does sex in public spaces with his chick. I cannot confirm or deny it. And
I was on my way getting nacho helmets.
And Horty Chris, oh my God, Horty Chris. I don't think anyone else spoke in the car for the 45-minute ride to Dodger Stadium. In fact, we found out Horty Chris is not just from Virginia, Michigan, Pittsburgh, California, Arizona, and Texas, but even though he didn't graduate Virginia Tech, he founded Virginia Tech on his own. Didn't you, Horty Chris? You can't confirm or deny that either. So 562-653-0707. Guys, you know, we do this every week where we take your grow questions. But we have a brand new show starting next week. That's right, it's Grow Time with Heavy T. Myself, we're going to break down 2 different topics. We're going to lay out the history of what each topic is, the debates on either side, and we're going to decide, or you guys are going to decide, which one's for you. The first conversation is, of course, our favorite, my favorite, which is hydroponic versus soil with a little bit of probiotic alliance tossed into the middle of it. We'll get detailed, get down to the history of it, you know, without being interrupted by the Allman Brothers, otherwise known as the Rambling Men, here tonight. At the end of the table, my co-host for the last 7.5 years, it seems like 70, Horty Chris.
Hola. Dude, fuck this song. I hate this song almost as much as Taste.
Oh, what up? What up, dog? Dodger game was sweet. You don't even like baseball.
I don't, but it was a sweet game. It was good at the end. It was over faster than I thought it would be, which made it
even
better.
with the power outage.
Yeah, they had a power outage near the end, then as the lights were heating back up, they cranked out a homer, and it was like extra innings, and I was like, fuck my life, dude.
Yes.
I hate this fucking shit baseball. It takes 9 hours to have a fucking game, and then now we're in a 10th inning. What if this shit goes to like 14 innings, and we're here for like 8 fucking hours?
Well, dude,
and
they
then
need to
cranked
switch to
out
LEDs.
Yeah, then they
we
cranked out
that bullshit
excuse me, I'm telling my story, and it's my introduction. When you start talking,
I
I
know,
won't
but you
interrupt
run
you.
on forever.
I know.
sometimes.
Yeah, I know. I'm a run on.
man.
Run
We got a
all
4-hour
on.
show to fill.
And
It's
the more
okay.
you interrupt me, the more I run on because I got to fucking start all over again because of
You
people
were
like
asleep
you.
by the 9th inning.
So,
huh?
anyways, 10th inning
He
started.
definitely
Boom.
was not asleep.
Doyers hit that home run, game-winning homer, walk-off homer. That was pretty sweet. I don't even like the Doyers either, but fuck, it was cool.
Well,
man.
and it was grow related because they had a power outage, and all those lights are big old metal halide, like 10,000 watt lights, and they can't just fire them back up. Even if they restored power, they have to wait for them to cool off.
Yep.
So it was a good 20 minutes or so until they could fire those lights back up.
But it was cool. It was a cool game. Thanks to the sponsors, Miller Soils dudes hooked it up. It was nice.
Yep.
They had Dodger dogs. They had
Dodgers.
meatball sandwiches.
Yep.
They had soft drinks in the fridge.
Mark wasn't there.
That's right. And not Dr. Duff either.
Yep. Thankful.
I got Dutch all wasted on some Jack Fire on the way there.
Yeah,
He
that was
on a
awesome.
good one.
And you guys peed in the parking lot on my car.
Your wife almost killed us on the freeway on the ride home.
Yep. And the spaceship was floating over dividers.
Fuck yeah, that thing's a Baja off-road spaceship now. There you go, Jiggity.
And of course, we got Jiggity Jerome. What up, Jiggity? How you doing?
What?
All right, here he comes. Straight from the Quinceañera to your listening for your listening pleasure.
Giggity.
We got Jiggity Giggity. Jerome. What is Jerome?
You know what's good? I just got 2 joints, double fist and everything tonight. 2 beers, 2 joints.
All right.
I need 2 mics.
No, you don't.
No, I'm just playing.
No,
You already
don't.
take over 3.
Look, dude, I'm not trying to get into this negativity. Today.
Yes, no more negativity.
Yeah, but dude,
Tivity.
just good vibes, bro. I mean, I'll teach you whatever you need to, need to be successful, Horty. Just
Thanks, man.
If you learn, if you actually listen to Grow Time with Heavy T starting next week, you too can enjoy good grow talk. But tonight we have this Heavy T's Grow Show. So let's start off with the East Coast. We have Maine, G-Rad in Maine. What's up?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Not much. What's going on tonight?
Not too much. I was just curious. Some people say it's okay to trim in week 4, and I was just wondering, is that true? Is it okay to trim up some of the bottom foliage and inner foliage, to get rid of the swag popcorn buds that ain't going to amount to much? Is that going to be okay? in week 4?
Okay, so
And-
most of the pruning, Jarrett, you want to do prior to week 4, but still, the heavy pruning, the lollipopping, the training, getting them set where they are. If at week 4 you're like, man, there's some snarf down here that isn't going to produce, it's okay to take a few branches off, but the heavy, taking 25-30% of the plant, lollipopping it, removing a lot of the fan leaves and things like that, you want to do early on so the plant has time to get out of that stress that pruning causes.
Right.
Your main weight building weeks in an 8-week cycle are weeks 4 and 5. So if you direct your plant by pruning it a whole bunch to now heal itself rather than taking that energy and putting it towards weight, your yield is going to suffer. But nonetheless, I do prune through the garden. Every time I enter the garden, I remove chlorotic leaves, yellowing leaves. I remove large fan leaves that are covering prime flowering spots, opening the plant up. If you're worried about the bottoms maybe not producing, rather than chopping them off, what do you guys think about trying to open it up a little more? Maybe trying to get some more light down to those bottom branches.
Train the plant, pull some branches out, tie them out, get them, like, fill in holes, spaces in the canopy. If you're running a trellis net, you can tuck branches further out into, like, the next square to kind of pull them out, get some light in there.
Yeah,
Even
I
after
did some super cropping, and I'm worried about like powdery mildew forming up because the buds are so close to each other.
as long as you keep the fan leaves that are around those flowers from being stacked on each other too much, you should be okay. And also have some fans blowing up from underneath the canopy to keep air circulation on those leaves that are there. Week 4, 5, 6, as you go on, and you get later into flower when you're just trying to finish them off, you can go in and remove a lot of the fan leaves that are blocking flower below to get more light into it to help it ripen at the end as well. At that point, you're not going to lose much from losing the leaves. So a lot of people will even strip off a lot of the bigger leaves near the end to get light in. You know, it just depends. Some strains react better to that, and it just depends on how thick your canopy is. If you've got flower underneath that's chunky, but it's not developed as much as what's above it, and it's completely shaded, go ahead and clean some of those leaves out and get a little more light to it. It'll swell up and it'll catch up.
Yeah, and if you have
I was wondering how much it would stress it out if I did that.
it's going to stress it out a lot.
It stresses it out some. I mean,
I lost my hair and I'm stressed as fuck still.
It just depends on the
10 years
strain.
ago.
It depends on the strain and the health of the plant before
Go
you
with it.
start
Next
pulling
was it.
leaves
Heavy
off.
tea.
But you know, pulling a lot of leaves off of a plant isn't as stressful as like snapping half the branches in half and then taping them back up.
Yeah,
Right.
so, and if you're worried about powdery mildew week 4, that's the wrong time to be thinking about your IPM. You want these things basically set in stone, what you're going to do, how you're going to grow. You're going to have a game plan before you actually are in week 4. You know, adequate airflow in between those big flowers. If the flowers got bigger than you hoped or bigger than you thought they would, then, you know, it's not necessarily a bad thing, but adequate airflow. Pruning, of course, using different management skills like your IPM on things that you have used, either oils, sulfur vaporization, other things to mitigate any chance of powdery mildew, and then making sure you don't have big fluctuations from day and nighttime temperature, humidity, or from your lights on humidity and temperature to your lights off humidity and temperature, right? Having these things worked out before it's week 4, it's going to save you a lot of headaches. Now, you can still call into the show and pretend that you got powdery mildew, and Jerome's going to send you some of his, like, accolades and stuff, signed copies of his plants, pictures of his plants and shit. You got those? We should have those, like headshots. Headshots of your plants. No, you don't want headshots of your plants? Like, you would like that. Don't act like you wouldn't like that. Look at you smile. You would love
He
it.
even put that shit up everywhere.
Yeah, we're just in like a big humidity spike down here in Maine. We've been in like the 70s and 75% humidity for like the last 2 months.
No, that's a dehumidifier. Get a Quest in there, and you'll be.
Do you have a sealed room?
Humidifier, but I'm afraid the one I got isn't big enough. It's still spiking up once in a while.
75 is fine.
Well,
if you
you know,
keep it
and
warm,
also
dude. I keep my humidity at 70 to 75% in my veg, and even my first 4 or 5 weeks of flower. I only start to drop my absolutely. If you go ahead and look into transpiration rates into plants. Now, here's the thing. You need to look at your garden and be real with yourself.
Get real.
Either you have a hot rod race car and that shit's fucking badass, or there's a few things you could, you know, obviously fix. And at that point, when I talk about optimum, we're talking about the race car. So when you have a VPD chart and you're looking at all the different variables and opening up the stomata on the plant, optimizing CO2, all these things have to work with each other in conjunction. So if something's off, it's not going to be something beneficial. Just because you have 1,500 parts per million of CO2 doesn't mean it's going to be beneficial to the plant. So,
Right.
what you need to look at is what can you fix environmentally? Environment is number one. Just so you know, I use a base, I use a PK booster, and some bacteria. I don't use much more than that. Now, as far as, a lot of people out there with all their
someone likes
additives,
me.
I see some garbage-ass weed out there growing with all kinds of additives. And the thing is it really comes down to the health of your plant, the environment it's grown in. When you have plants start to develop their microclimates and you actually develop buds by week 4, week 5, and they start bulking, you get microclimates where it has humidity pockets within the canopy. That's the time where you want to start to drop the temperatures. Dropping the temperatures is going to coincide with dropping the humidity as well. When you drop the humidity, you're going to be less risk of getting any type of bud rot or powdery mildew. And the thing is getting that air moving doesn't mean the fan's just blowing right on the plant. You need to move the air at the bottom of the room, the top of the room, and dissipate that radiant heat that comes directly off of the lamp. So it's about the leaf temperature. It's not about the temperature on your hygrometer. You need to get a temp gun, read the leaf temperature.
And those hygrometers are pretty much trash anyways.
Oh, yeah. They're
Right next to each other, they'll be off by 5 degrees. You want to have a guide
Yeah, I
point,
got
but
three
if you're
of
talking
them in
about
the room, and
VPD,
every
you need to
single
have
one
something
says
more
something
accurate.
different.
Hey, caller, getting back to what you were saying before Jerome gave you his answer. You said that
what he was saying.
Pruning?
you said that you think you may need a
It is
bigger
that way.
dehumidifier because you're getting some spikes. That spike
Yeah.
could be happening between when the lights first go out and the temperature in the room drops. The air's ability to hold water goes down, so you'll get a little spike in humidity, but it will correct itself. So if you see
it at night, he said?
he just said that he's seeing spikes in it. So
at night or daytime?
when you look at it every 24 hours and look at the max and min, you see a part where it was really high, right?
Yeah.
That was probably right after the lights went off.
Yeah. That's
So-
when it spikes up.
What size AC do you have for the room?
I got it at
Miller
12,
Lite.
I think it's a 1200 BTU.
And how many lights do you have?
I got a 600 watt HPS ultra bright, and I got a 1200 watt LED Niazi.
So do you have like a grow space that's roughly about 5 by like 8 or 9 by like 7 feet tall?
It's probably I got it all mixed up. I'm actually flowering in my bedroom and vegging in my flower room, but
That's kinda mixed up.
where the flowers are, they're like about 4 feet wide and about 8 feet long. The room.
Okay, so the problem is your AC is oversized for that amount of cubic feet. When you
Or
have-
he's just having a spike when the lights go out. And
Or we can let a
humidity goes
motherfucker
up.
finish.
I was fucking trying to do it earlier, and I got interrupted.
You're gonna find
Jesus
if
fucking
It's
you're-
only been one caller.
For 3 fucking
Look,
minutes, he told the guy all
this
about
is
keeping
important.
fans
I listened to you
blowing.
for 45 minutes on the way to
If-
Dodger
listen,
Stadium.
Listen, it's important for a lot of people to realize when you properly size air conditioners, those 12,000 BTUs is basing on a certain amount of cubic feet. If you have a smaller area than that, especially with no heat load, meaning the lights are not on, the compressor doesn't need to kick on as frequently. So what's going to happen is it kicks on, it drops the temperature, and then it sits for maybe 30 minutes to an hour. In that time, your humidity is going to
I got it on
rise.
energy saver, and I can set the
40.
temperature.
Are you
I know, but-
it
but
kicks
when
on
it-
and off.
so.
When you have an air conditioner that's sized properly, you want it to run constantly. Air conditioners leak out water out of the condensate part. So that means it's also taking humidity out of the environment. So if you have that air conditioning running longer, that means it's going to dehumidify along the way. So at nighttime, what I do personally for commercial air conditioners, they'll have what they call a first or second or third stage on the compressor. And what you could do is put it on a single stage, which uses typically about 40 to 60% less energy than having the thing at full blast. And letting the motor run slower but more constantly keeps the humidity and temperatures at a constant level. So when you don't have the heat load, meaning your 1,000 or 600 watt and 1,200 watt lamp on, your humidity is probably perfect during the daytime because it's running more constantly.
All right. But he doesn't have a commercial. He's in a smaller one.
Right, exactly,
But,
but
hold on,
in that
Jiggity,
size,
on
it's
the
too
small
big.
things, get a Aeolus and a Fantech fan and do an air dump at night. Get the humidity out, and you can keep it more constant. If you're looking at VPD, which isn't, you want to get to that level, but if he's worried about powdery mildew and hasn't taken the recommended steps to prevent it, week 4, let's not overwhelm him. The best thing you could do, Jared.
Rows that I had powdery mildew. I
Yes,
don't have
and it's
powdery
a-
mildew on these, but I'm afraid it's going to come back.
Yes, because you had it
Do
before.
what
and
T said at night.
Right.
Dump that air. If you could dump
go
that
get a
air,
Fantech and the new controller, the Aeolus, and you can plug your. You can actually set it up so it runs your air conditioner too and turns it on when the lights come on, and it turns off the fan. So it'll save you some energy too.
see, the thing is your humidity, let's say it's 75 in the tent, but it's 70 outside, you can't really exchange it fast enough to, let's say, you get a perfect medium of 72.5. But the thing is, you got to realize is stagnant humidity is different from moving the humidity from having fresh air as well.
Especially for mildew. Mildew needs time to make contact with organic material, your leaf, your plant. And if you have a wind in there, it blows it around. It doesn't give it time to make enough contact. Now, you can still get it even if you have plenty of airflow, but it comes with those pockets of microclimate usually.
Well, think about anything that's sealed, from your underpants you wear all day to something in a bag. If it's in a heated area, it's probably going to stink later if you don't give it fresh air. So think about a grow room
I think of my
that
underpants as a
festers
bag.
at night with a warm, humid environment with stale air.
I don't wear underwear.
You know, to me, unless you're supplementing CO2,
Fucking
that's one
command it.
thing, but typically those are usually ran with a photocell or timer that's typically on during the lights on cycle. So exchanging
Yeah, I'm
that
running
air.
CO2, but I got those CO2 bags. I don't know how good they work.
Get
No,
those,
they work
Get the
great.
pads. Get the green pads.
But the thing is
The
you
green
got to
bag?
exchange that air. Get
Green
a
pad.
Fantech that has a nice controller so that this way you can automate that to come on at night. This way you can replace the air. Even if the humidity is relatively the same, at least you have fresh air versus stagnant
And
stale
if you're
air
worried
in there.
about discretion, that dump fan, you hook up a nice little can filter to, booyah shaka, you're good to grow.
Yep. Oh, and get a horticultural dust room for the fresh air, right?
Yep, the Fantech is the quietest and the most energy conservative as well. So,
See, I normally flower under my 1,000-watt Raptor.
yeah, we heard
but
that you're flowering under a
that-
54
You
watt
said a
LED.
1,200 watt and a 600.
Didn't you hear him say that he's now flowering in his bedroom because he got screwed up? Hey, Jared, you must be growing some fucking bomb shit if you forgot which room was your veg and bloom. I mean, I'm just saying. You're like, man,
I
this
was in the middle
T5,
of
this
cleaning
T5
the
looks
two
pretty good
different
at
rooms
flowering
and
there.
whatnot. And then they got the flower. They got too big to put underneath the Raptor, so I just left them in the veg room. And
Dude, the
instead of putting them in
Raptor's
the flower
old
room.
school, dude.
They got a little bit too big on me when I super cropped them.
But
I super cropped the main stem, and then I super cropped like 4 branches, and it just went crazy.
the best part of all this, Jared, is you're still growing the best weed in Maine.
Fuck yeah, dude.
I think it's pretty darn good, actually. Yeah.
All right, when we come to Maine, we'll test it out. Don't accidentally mail any to my office over here in Long Beach, California. Area code or zip code 90815, care of Horty Chris. Right.
Yeah, I use General Organics, and I got that Terpinator. That's what I've been pumping it.
You're good to grow. I'm going to send you some smart pots as well. You can never have enough smart pots, and a swag pack from Botanicare.
Nice.
Right? Think about what we said. Tune into our shows. We'll be talking more about grow. That's information you want to get.
Yeah, definitely, guys. Definitely. I appreciate it.
Thanks, G-Rad. 562-653-0707. Coming up in just a few minutes, we have Chef Mike. He's star of a new Netflix original show. He's going to be cooking, I think. Is he cooking in studio, Saint? Did he bring any food? How come we have these chefs and I never eat?
That's what I was telling Devin.
Well, you can't tell Devin nothing. Devin got to check with corporate headquarters first. Is that okay?
I'm like, you make me watch these videos and then you bring in the food to sample, man. Damn.
I saw
Dude, yesterday he got the fucking flaming hot Cheeto rice balls
Oh, they're in the fridge. There you go.
with the bacon.
There you go.
Yep, that's fat people.
They're still in the fridge.
Fat People 101. Let's go to Matt in the LBC. Hey, Matt, what's going on tonight?
Oh, what's going on, guys?
You know, another Wednesday, another no dollars.
Getting high.
Awesome. Well, first, I just want to say thanks for the Dodger game this week, and that was fucking awesome.
Oh,
man.
you were there, Matt?
Of course I was there. I'm Fish Man.
Were you the one with the good weed or the bad weed? Oh, I remember you had the good weed.
Of course.
All right.
It was great to meet Jerome. I got to hang out with Jerome some. I got to hang out with Horty, which was awesome. Aaliyah, she's there right now. What's up?
Someone put a beer in her purse, and then she hit that someone in the nuts, allegedly.
Yeah, I remember that.
That's fucked up. Anyways, Matt, what's going on tonight? Horty's here for
I
your
wanna
listening
talk-
pleasure.
I want to talk about post-harvest drying and curing because I'm getting ready to chop, and I'm just watching the tracks right now waiting for them to turn amber. But just like, what's your guys' opinion on, I know I want it like a long, slow dry. I'm going to try to not trim before this time.
That's what I
temperature
prefer.
and humidity for drying, and then curing. I feel like I kind of got it down, but that's just one of those things that
I'm going to give it to you real quick, Horty, but let me tell you, Matt, as soon as you harvest, that's when the drying process is a curing process as well, so you need to have it on point. I myself prefer to do a whole plant dry as well, or leave sugar leaves and fan leaves that you haven't pruned off on there. I feel it gives a fuller flavor to the final product. But Horty, the correct temperature, humidity, time frame that Matt should be thinking about drying.
Well, I would say maybe do a little experimentation. Remove some of the bigger fan leaves that are like just like away, you know what I mean? Like not in any, like just extra ones that are like obviously not.
those are gone already.
Oh, okay, okay.
I cut those fuckers off.
Well, then what I like to do is take the whole plant down and then pull off the branches from like the main stem, separate it into just like the, you got 10, 12 branches on a plant, pull them all off the main stem, and then hang those up. And leave those leaves. I agree with Heavy T that if you leave the leaves there, it seems you get a better cure, like a better flavor, a better smell. Maybe even like wet trimming, you lose a lot of shit sticks to the scissors, right?
Yeah.
So I think you may not lose as much if you let it dry, and then you can just kind of crack the leaves off instead of having to manicure it like a haircut. But
My
anyways,
scissors are clean after I trim my stuff. There's no THC on there.
Hang it up. You'll want to put it somewhere in a cool, dark place with fans moving the air constantly, preferably like an air-conditioned, dehumidified area that you can keep around.
I dry in my grow space.
Climate
Okay.
control,
So I got,
perfect.
like,
Is it
I
climate
can
control?
completely control temperature and humidity.
Okay,
Yeah.
then I'd set the temperature at about 75 and the humidity at about 50%, 40 to 50%.
50.
And then I would just let it marinate.
Definitely not too hot.
Right. I mean, somewhere between 75 and 80, just like if you were growing. And,
It would be comfortable to you with
Right.
And I do a little bit more than a light breeze because my nugs are
Yeah,
so big.
I keep a fan. People say don't hit the. I
Can't
like
worry
to
about
actually
that
have
bud rot,
the.
you know what I'm saying?
I like to have the breeze good enough that the
Buffalo.
plants kind of, if it's like an oscillating fan, that the plants kind of wiggle in the breeze a little bit. You know what I mean? Like actually
yeah,
blowing air, like intermittently on oscillate between the flowers of the hanging branches, right?
Right, like not directly on them, but I keep the air moving so the plants actually, they're kind of like moving around a little bit.
Yeah, that they move a little bit. If you have an oscillating fan and you can have it go directly across them, but it moves, so it's not constantly on like one plant. You know what I mean? But and then at that point, I like to let it hang like that at least 10 to 14 days. Some people will say, "Oh, I just keep." What you want is the stems to snap like a number 2 pencil, not bend like a straw.
And it's
Okay,
where
so
you're at, Matt. You're in Long Beach. We know
here's
this
one of my
area.
questions
Hold on,
about
slow
that
your roll
season
real
right
quick, playa. You're in Long Beach, and it's an area we know.
Right.
It's
The climate.
it's pretty mellow as far as not too hot, not too cold, not too humid, not too dry. But if you're in the middle of Palm Springs, it's going to be a lot different than it is here. You want to check it on the reg. Okay,
Absolutely.
You're not going to. If it's super dry, you're not going to put more humidity in there. You're not going to have a humidifier in the room, thinking that you're going to go for 14 days because it's getting dry too quick.
Right, but if you have a sealed, air-conditioned, dehumidified room,
you
no
got to
matter
know
what the temp and
you got to
humidity
know
is
what
outside.
you got to know what you're doing. Be able to pull it, get it down, processed with a little bit of humidity or a little bit of moisture still in it.
Right.
So when you then put it in the bins for the cure, put it in the jars, the bags, whatever it is, it still has that little bit of humidity. In Long Beach, where we are, I go to the motherfuckers crisp as fuck, not the flour, the actual stock. I don't want any humidity, and I'm not taking 2 weeks to put my Fiskars on there in my little trim bin and hope that my wife helps me. I hire a team of Cambos. and they leave Jerome's house and come directly to mine. And then from under the stairs.
But you're probably gonna go at least 10 to 14 days to get to that level.
Yeah, usually I'm about like 8 to 10 days. But I mean, I always kind of like mess with the temperatures because people say that if the temperature's too high, then a lot of your terpenes evaporate off. But then if the temperature's too low, that's
if you're worried about your terpenes evaporating, you ain't got enough terpenes. You need to use some Terpinator to get some more.
If you keep it 75 and 50% humidity, you can keep it in there even after 10 days. Keep it longer, 14 days. It's not going to, because you're not going to over dry it because it's going to be at 50% humidity all the time in that room.
Right, okay, that makes sense.
If you're out there sucking in fresh air from outdoors and it's 90 degrees one day and 70 the next and a rainstorm comes through and temperatures and humidity go crazy and you're bringing in that outside air, it's going to affect the overall what you've got in that space. But you're in a sealed
3 minutes,
space.
Horty.
You're in a sealed
dude.
space.
I've been waiting.
Yeah, 3 minutes with being interrupted, not fucking straight with no fucking chaser. Fuck both of you
He's
motherfuckers.
asking you for fucking advice.
Yeah,
He said, let's experiment a little bit. Give the motherfucker some expert advice.
No, but I'm
dog.
down with experimenting.
So
That's
you
the
heard the
whole point.
first
That's why
3 words
called
I
you guys.
said.
You guys
I
all
know,
have
but I
different
disagree
ideas.
with the
like that
temperature and
shit.
humidity.
Now listen, before this devolves into another Heavy Tea Grow show.
Oh well, but Jerome will tell you the better way to do it. So he said he disagrees. So
we got to
let
take
him
a
tell
break,
him.
ladies and gentlemen, boys
I'll
and
tell you the
girls,
better way. Just DM me.
co-hosts
I'll
of
give you
all
the exact
ages.
schedule.
We actually have to take a break. Matt, think of it like growing. Have a nice rigid environment. Stick it around 50% humidity, 70 degrees. Not too cold, not too hot. Let it do its thing. Go check on it on a daily basis, especially if it's super dry or super warm. You're still going to be subjected to the micro or the macro environment around the building or the greenhouse, wherever you're at, the shed, whatever you're in. So it's just like growing. You have to be present. Your job isn't done, and too many people fuck it up at the end. Having it a little bit more dry when you go to cure it and bag it up, a lot better than having it a little bit moist, because then you'll have oxidation and ruin your esters more, your smells. Okay, and then when you cure, when it's that dry, you put it into a sealed container, whatever that container is, and you burp it once a day for 15 to 20 minutes. If it seems overly moist or it's become soggy again, you need to open it up completely, maybe even put a fan on it and let it dry for another 24 hours. All right, but if you put it in a bag and 12 hours later you come back and it's soggy like a sponge, it's too wet.
Oh, that's no good.
You're gonna ruin it, and you're gonna have a bunch of hey.
Dry that out immediately.
All right.
So my specific question is because, like, when
You already had a question, Matt, and you went to the Dodger game and asked us all kind of questions.
No, I'm just saying when the stem snap, do you mean the individual bud stems or the actual?
The
stalk?
main largest stalks and stems, when they actually don't bend like a plastic straw, but snap like a pencil.
Okay.
You go touch the flower, that flower is dry. Go feel that green ass stem that still looks like it's living and bend it. If it doesn't break, they're not dry.
If you think it's dry, take a medium-sized flour, throw it in a grinder, grind it up, roll a joint, and hit it, and see if it burns or not.
Give him the kiki. Come on, dude.
You got something to say?
I can't say shit with this.
You're saying something now.
This guy.
It's the grow show with the motherfucker that don't grow, giving advice about curing.
Oh, grow
Jesus
time with Heavy Tea
Christ.
coming up.
All right. Anyways,
It's grow time.
just remember,
You like that?
it's better to fucking over dry your shit.
Trim
no
Team 6,
matter
it's grow
what.
time.
Don't bag it if it's wet. And I'll tell you right now, if you over dry it, get a motherfucking bag of some corn tortillas.
Yeah. Yeah, dog.
Or you could
All
just
right,
use
man.
fan leaves off some of your mother plants so you're not putting corn tortilla, whatever.
I wish I had
on
a
your
video
plants.
of this right here. Look at behind you, too. Marco was trying to, like, improv
Hey, Matt.
what he does at night.
Yeah.
What did Wendy say about them?
What's up?
What did Wendy say about your drying process? When these nuts hit you in the face, woo! Welcome, Netflix. It's Heavy Tea's fucking smoke show. You're on the only network getting high as.
Up next is Chef Mike.
Chef Mike is coming up as a star of the Netflix show Cooking with Cannabis. I don't know if that's the name. It's a name, though. It's Cooking on High. Cooking on High. Chef Mike. Chef to the fucking celebrities. He was on the show once 2 weeks ago, and now he's on Netflix. What? Yeah. How come I can't get on Netflix, Jerome? Because this guy's weighing me down. Good point. We'll talk to my agent after this. Heavy T's Grow Show. Horty Chris and Heavy T. Jerome Down.
DFZ Radio.
Dog. Come.
I always got that 425. You know I got it, nigga. You know I keep that 425. Blaze one with me then. Dizzy OG think I we alive. Hey, hey, Dizzy OG all up in my paper. Hey, but is he right about to run for mayor? Whoa. Started my label, now they think I'm giving out favors. Too bad, a couple niggas that I used to fuck with turned into haters. Don't be hitting my line, cause I ain't got the time. I told you once, nigga don't front online. I know what the fuck you want. Seeing through these fools, mad cause I make their girlfriend booty move. With my G ways, I'm just too damn cool. Nigga, what like blue to you? Ayy, looking mad at me. I be smoking, I be mad happy. I don't really worry about these niggas that be making comments, throwing jabs at me. Dad hat feeling dab happy with the 425. Ayy, I love Vegas for the 24/7 side. You can see that I always got that 425. Man, I got a vibe. Man, I got so high I couldn't drive, couldn't even drive. Look at what I did by 25, nigga. Dizzy OG think I we alive, cause I always got that 425. You know I got it. I always got that 425. You know I got it, nigga. You know I keep that 425. Blaze one with me then. Dizzy OG think I we alive. Hey.
Word around town is Debbie down the road. They ain't never lie. All my bitches fly. April 25. Yeah.
DFCRadio.com.
Have you ever been interested in gardening with dry fertilizers? Well, you're not the only one, and let me tell you about Vermicrop Organics and their line of organic dry fertilizers. Healthy plants with a simple 4-step process. Step 1. Just measure out a half teaspoon per gallon of soil or 2 cups per 12 square feet of soil surface area. Step 2. Apply evenly to the soil surface. Step 3. Blend into the top layer of soil to avoid caking. Step 4. Water thoroughly. And that's it, simple as that. Great for vegetables, fruits, flowers, potted plants, trees, shrubs, annuals, and perennials. It's Vermicrop Organics VermiVeg 744. Along with the VermiBloom and PK Boost, you will have a complete line of organic nutrients and a garden that will thank you with a great harvest. Looking for an even simpler way? Then check out the Vermiall 666. This game-changing mix is formulated for all stages of growth in the fast-paced garden of champion vegetable and flower growers. And check out the Vermi Bat Guano Fertilizer and the Vermi Blood Meal Fertilizer for feeding oversized, nitrogen-hungry plants. Learn more at vermicrop.com. That's vermicrop.com.
Dr. Duffman here. Wanted to talk to you about what I wish I had in my garden. And that, my friends, is a Nanolux double-ended fixture, which is leading the industry as I speak in double-ended technology. I will no longer need 10 150-watt lights to cover my 5x5 area. With just one double-ended fixture from Nanolux, I can cover that area. Also, no more need for that pesky Richter timer of mine that goes off at all kinds of random hours. With Nanolux's fixture, it comes NCCS ready, meaning I can control it on my computer. So if you're like me and your lighting situation sucks, then upgrade to Nanolux's double-ended fixtures today, and don't be a duff man. For more information on Nanolux, check them out at nanoluxtech.com. That's NANOLUXTECH.com.
So you're big time, huh?
Yeah, kinda.
Launch crew, ready to reservoir.
What's the load factor, sir?
Bringing the Rizoblast liquid at 2 mils per gallon.
Okay, sir. We are loaded and ready to launch.
10, 9.
Okay, men. It's time to blast off into the plant's root zone and into another galaxy of root growth.
Rizoblast is a proprietary blend of seaweed and the single-celled algae chlorella. Chlorella's abundance of amino acids and minerals contribute to its value in hydroponics. The benefits used in Rizoblast are explosive root growth, the use with any growing medium or hydro system, its ideal use for transplanting, and the enhancement of your plant vigor in fast-flowering plants. Let your plants have a blast and see a world of a difference with Rizoblast from Botanicare. Check it out at www.botanicare.com.
You are listening to the Heavy T Grow Show. Call in right now, 562-653-0707 for your chance to talk to Heavy T, Horty Chris, or Dr. Duffman. Killing it.
Yo, Kelly, pass me that blunt. You feel me? Mm-hmm.
DFCRadio.com.
Man, where are we at? The Hybrid Creative? What is this?
The Hybrid Creative is Northern California's premier homegrown creative agency for cannabis and hydroponics ventures.
So, I mean, okay, what do you guys provide?
So we generally start with brand strategy. Let's say we've got a farmer or somebody who's taking a product to market and they want to be able to differentiate themselves and not just create a good-looking brand, but creating a meaningful brand. We start with brand strategy. And then we move into all the various tools that are going to help them get some leverage and some traction in the market, like packaging, logo design, advertising, marketing materials, marketing strategies, and web development.
There it is, the Hybrid Creative. If you guys are trying to look to get into the game and you want to differentiate yourself from everybody else that's got that Gorilla Glue, right? You want to be a little different? These guys help you out, man, right?
Yeah, check us out at thehybridcreative.com.
Oh, here I am, man. I just ran into Dennis, the president of O2 Grow. What's up, Dennis? And can you tell us what O2 Grow is?
Well, O2 Grow is some new science that's all across the world where we are super oxygenating or getting your DO levels up higher than your typical bubblers, okay? Everybody bubbles because they're told to in a book, okay? Some of them don't really know why, but the reason why you're oxygenating your water is to get your nutrients to absorb better into your water, okay? The water's the delivery system, but it's really all about molecules. Molecules in your nutrients are absorbing better into that, so your root follicles are picking it up better. Better root, better yield. So we've been in the industry for about 12 years in other industries, growing strawberries, tomatoes, other seed plants, dirt, people that are growing in dirt, obviously, too, or soil, some hydroponic, which everyone thinks that only hydroponic guys have to oxygenate their water, when in fact, anybody that's even making teas, that type of thing, they all know the importance of oxygen. That's what gets everything moving. So we're all across the industry in keeping fish alive, septic tanks where you need biology, but in the grow industry, that is kind of our newest launching challenge. We're not new. We've been out here 3 years in this industry, so maybe some of your listeners have heard about us or called in. We're a Minneapolis-based company. O2grow.com gets you into all of our videos. Take a shot at that. Look at that. But we have in some of your affiliates. I know I'm working with Ed Rosenthal right now on some projects, and we also can be off-grid. Our science is we actually go from 110 volt down to 12 volt, so you can be off-grid, run our stuff with batteries. You don't even, if off-grid interests you, but it's pretty unique. It's kind of like submarine science. When a submarine goes underwater, they don't bring oxygen or bottle it or surface for oxygen. They separate the H2O, hydrogen molecule, from the oxygen molecule, and then, of course, they trap the oxygen and gas and push it back out to breathe. We take that same gas and push it back into the water. So it's kind of like we got bottled oxygen that we're forcing into the water, but we're doing it electronically. Economically, stuff's not free, and it's not a $29 bubbler, but for a couple $100 you can get into our product, and it pays for itself usually first turn. So it's interesting stuff.
Yeah, thank you, Dennis. Yeah, so if you want to step your game up or grow up to the next level and get the infuse that oxygen into the water, go check out O2grow.com.
Yes, sir.
O2grow. That's just straight O with a 2 grow.com, and you can check out his bubblers, his aeration systems and stuff like that, and just check it out. It's good quality.
And contact us at info@o2grow.com, which will tell you that on the website. You can see a lot of YouTube videos of us guys explaining it with photos. It's pretty compelling stuff. So I think all your listeners get information, and this is trying to sort it out for you, and we're glad to be on your show.
Thank you, Dennis. Awesome. Everybody check out O2 Grow. Thank you, Dennis. Here in San Jose, GrowX. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Now, Tuna, I ask you, is there such thing as that, my G? What's that? I mean, I'm getting high right now in the booth, man.
In the booth? In the booth? We don't get high in the booth. We get high with the goods.
Who got that booth?
High all day.
Who got that good booth?
The booth? Speaking of booth, we're back here on Heavy T's Grow Show. You want to grow that fire? Remember, it's grow time with Heavy T coming up next week. Brand new show here on DFZ Radio, airing between 6 and 10 on Wednesdays. Maybe beforehand. I'm just joking. No one gets my comedy. I think I'm pretty funny, don't you? Looks aren't everything. I dreamt about a joke last night, but I don't remember it. 562-653-0707. You want to talk about the Hanging Gardens of Babylon? Babylon. Maybe it was down by the beach. Who knows? They got sea crustacean fossils in those deserts. Might have been by the beach. Might have not been. Maybe you want to talk about KNF, Korean Natural Farming. How you like putting human manure in things. Because they did so in 1950. Which they were still cutting off limbs if you broke an arm in 1950. But still, it's all good. Salmonella is not real. Little kids in bat caves are worse than digging up salts, all those good things. That's what we're talking about on Grow Time. New show coming up on DFZ Radio next week. Replacing all programming. But tonight it's Heavy T's Grow Show, and I'm just joking. It's not replacing anything except Horty, Chris, and Jerome.
Thank
God. Jerome doesn't know me well enough to know when I'm joking yet, Horty.
Don't worry, Horty. I'm going to do my own show so I don't have to fuck with you no more.
No one has to fuck with anyone.
You can call in and listen.
Tired of sharing my sponsorship money.
Yeah, don't act like we got any money, guys. Come on.
Jesus Christ.
Except for that Netflix money. Speaking of Netflix, there's a new show on Netflix coming out. It's called Cooking on High. I get it because the temperature can be high. I get it. Boom, boom. We got in studio Chef Mike. He's also from Cannabis Television, right?
Cannabis Planet, sir.
Cannabis Planet.
Yes, sir.
We were talking about it, the old late night show that used to come on.
We for
on public television right after Poor Man's Beach Bikini
that's
Party.
Right, for sure.
You had
old school.
You had Ed on there, Ed Rosenthal.
Yeah, Ed Rosenthal was that was the first show he was able to reach an audience and give answer grow questions, just like what you guys are doing right now.
Oh,
so we were one of the first people ever to put it out on the air and just give a chance for anyone that was growing anything to ask directly, and it was really a good time back then.
It was, and it's a good time since then. The world has changed a lot. Now
Yeah,
you're on
for
Netflix, dog. You got that Netflix money.
Oh, yeah, right.
You got
I
that
wish,
Dave
right?
Chappelle money.
Oh, man, and I
that
wish.
Chris Rock money, playa.
Oh, man, you know how it is being in this industry. All of it still was for activism.
I thought
Like,
you
you
were
know-
going to be Chef Mr. T with all those chains around your neck, playa.
you know what I mean?
Damn, that's that Netflix money. But
Oh, I wish. I wish I had gotten that Netflix money, man. You know how it was. That show was all about let's still do the activism. We're going to put one show together, and we're just going to chance it. So it wasn't really for Netflix at first. It was produced by Warner Brothers. It was called Stage 13 is the parent company. So we made it a couple years ago. So we all...
and then they pitched it.
Yeah, exactly, right? So I was thinking for sure it was just going to run on internet, maybe YouTube or situation. And then all of a sudden we got one email that said that Netflix picked it up.
That's legit, man, and congratulations. Hard work pays off because, like you said, Cannabis Planet, back in the day, this was the early 2000s when you were firing off on there. And it's kind of a unique story how you came to be on the program, right? Because by chance. And I don't want to say luck because it was someone else's poor luck.
Well, yeah. The way it really got was in Guy Obelim, which was on Cannabis Planet. He was kind of our grow expert on our show, so he's doing kind of the same.
He grow that fire.
Oh yeah, for sure. And he's
what you got on it?
He's been good. I'm an oil guy. So we could be doing dabs right now. I'd be all into it.
I got you.
So, I'm old school, man. I could probably smoke all this herb. I'm old man now. I'm 40 years old already. I've been doing.
You're the youngest one here.
Damn, youngin'. Man. Oh, not in the cannabis world.
Yeah. You see the gray in here, old gray beard?
Oh, yeah, I know, right? So anyway,
tell us the story about how you got up.
Okay, if anyone can remember the fires that happened a couple years ago, so no one could get up and down the Cajon Pass.
Mm-hmm.
So all of a sudden, I just got a call from Ngayo saying that old school Chef Nugs. I don't know if anyone remembers Chef Nugs from old school days. He couldn't get down the mountain, so they gave me 1 day to get ready, send recipes, and say you're gonna be on this show. I had no idea what I was doing. I just knew
you
that.
You ever do television or any type of prep like that before?
Well, I had done Cannabis Planet, right? But Cannabis
Right.
Planet, I had lots of time to get ready, and it was just me, one cameraman, and whatever. I was kind of producing my own stuff. I had my producer to like put it together and edit me, but we just ran camera, right, and just kept shooting as many episodes as I could get in.
A boom mic that wasn't always booming.
Yeah,
off to the side.
Exactly.
The shot.
Yeah, and then like he would cut it up all whatever we could get done. We were just on a lower budget, and we were back then we were always relying on collectives, right, and whatever collective was brave enough to put it out in the world that they were open and right. So then now this Netflix thing goes, and it was just show up, and I'm working full time, so I have a restaurant in Orange County, and I was not worried at all about just having to cook fast or meet a timer or anything.
Tell me a little bit about that now with where you're at with your show, with your restaurant. That is kind of the conclusion of the book on Chef Mike.
Yeah.
The beginning, I assume, is a lot more interesting than that. Like, what's up with the weed game? Like, you slinging and banging growing up. You started with the lollipops, the blow pops in elementary school, and stepped up to dime bags in high school.
Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, of course, man. High school. That was like I grew up all up in the desert, up in Lancaster and Palmdale. So it was
shout out to dirt bikes.
Yeah. So how was I gonna run? With the people that had more money than me. I grew up in kind of a low-income home, so of course I was slinging. You know what I mean? I was a jock back then. I played football, so I could run in between every.
Mike, was it more slinging so you could run with the crowd, or more slinging so you could have your own herb to smoke for free? Because that's where I was.
I guess both. I guess always both, because once you figured out that you could do that, there was no other reason to not. Right, every time it was after that, I'm just gonna get a bigger sack and help the homies out, right? Because then I couldn't justify it to myself anymore not to do that, right?
And then you're playing ball over there, so you're playing football, you're smoking weed. Did you have a correlation about some of the injuries and things you dealt with on the football field, as well as your cannabis consumption, or that wasn't in your head? You're like,
yeah, of course not, right? When you're that young, you're just
16, you bounce back.
Yeah, you can beat the world. Plus, to be honest, back then I got into the horrible side, man. I started doing dope, so I was doing speed for a lot of years. Cannabis is what pulled me out of that for sure. So I was in that life. Trying to be like, running with the big crowds. Where I grew up, that was the thing to do, It was like you said, all those dirt bikers, right?
Yeah, right. So the fires happened. They called you, asked you to go to this thing.
Yeah,
Netflix.
Okay, yeah, come down. It wasn't Netflix yet. It was just like, we're doing this cooking competition show. So come down and get down, right? So I already had emailed them recipes, and then they kind of wouldn't do what I wanted. I wanted to do kind of more fine dining food, a little higher end, and then they were just like, we're smaller show, so just they gave me what they were going to give me.
Right.
Yeah. So they just gave me what they were giving me. So I knew that if I did stuff by hand and I did stuff by scratch, I would win. Because that's the biggest thing is I watch all those cooking shows, right? I love watching them all online and everything. And it's always the guy who does the most wins usually, right? So I knew that if I took something and I did it from scratch by hand, that I would be okay. And I had already written that one recipe that I won the first one with, the gnocchi, was already in the High Times Cannabis Cookbook. So, I already knew like I was going to want to market that. You know how it goes. You got to make sure you're playing the right game. So I had that on, and I made it fresh. And the guy that I was with, he was a good chef. He just went too far, and he did like that gastronomic stuff, right? So he powdered the oil. And when he did that, it was too strong of a taste. No one really likes the taste of cannabis unless they're older and they've been eating it for a long time. But most of those judges that they had...
I'll introduce you to some deer in the high desert that will eat the shit out of your cannabis.
He probably knows them. He used to smoke meth with them.
Yeah, so I've always hidden it. I've always like hidden in whatever dish
those deer
I did,
don't eat
right?
Right.
And then the second chef was Chef D. and she was like, she's way bigger and famous, and she has a huge edible line out in Vegas, and she almost beat me just with her looks. I mean, the judges were all into her and like, oh, you know, but so that one I won by 1 point, and I just was the old man.
You had to break out the charm, player?
Yeah, you know, it was funny because she looked all good, and she was all like, you know, doing those moves.
Did you go get a push-up bra and come out? And
yeah, you know, I was ready. I was definitely ready.
He's like, man, but my hand was tired by the time that shit was over.
Right? So then after the show, it was just like, you know,
Forearms huge.
I was the old man that, you know, won. And then we just waited, right? It was just good luck. Thank you.
Yep.
You know, you're out. And then it was almost 2.5 years later when we got the call that it got sold or whatever, distributed. Wow. And then now, where we are now is I just need people to keep watching it. So everyone, you know, I want to address one thing right now. Everyone's trying to be critics, and they're like, oh, this show, this and that, and they want it to be perfect, right? Well, it was the first time we had ever done a cooking competition on TV. Are you kidding me?
It's social media day. Everyone's opinion matters now,
Right.
or actually they think it does.
Right, and they're all experts.
Well, if you want to make it better, then help us get to season 2. And
Own
then,
a
you know
business
what I
with
mean?
a Yelp account, player.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Then you got to see what's up. The real critics. Talking about your style of cooking and what you do, because where you're at over in Orange at Brew Hawg, right? Is that
Yeah. Right now I'm just running a barbecue restaurant only because
Orange?
we're in Orange. We're
I gotta come.
Well, is that outside your wheelhouse then? Because I know it's a barbecue place.
how
but
do I say?
Well, hold on. You talked about fine dining and,
like
presenting that. What's your background? Like your
barbecue's fine dining.
I would say that I've done more. I would call myself a lot of hotel. Like that's my favorite. Is when I'm running a big property, you know, and running a big team and fine dining caterings that are, you know, banquets and stuff like that. So I worked for Hilton for a long time. So that's I love that. But I had to choose between Cannabis Planet and activism or my career with Hilton. You know, so I had to choose because they were going to fire me unless I quit. You know what I mean?
Right.
It was already like the next show, Cannabis Planet, was about to air, and I didn't want to go through my career knowing that I got fired that way.
Yeah.
You know, in case it didn't work out, I can always go back or whatever, right? And then now the Netflix, I'm burned though for sure.
No, those Hilton demerits.
Yeah. So I mean, and then. Basically, I've just been, when I gave up that, I ended up in the cannabis game full time, right? And we had a collective in Anaheim. It was on Brookers to Lincoln. It was called OC Collective, one of the bigger ones in Anaheim for a lot of years, especially between 2009 and 2013. So we were really rocking. We were doing good. So I started meeting sicker patients, right? So then I started feeling this calling, like, oh, I need to heal people. So I went to go search out raw food and healthier food instead of making edibles that have sugar in them or edibles that were bad for me. In that
Don't give the brownies to the diabetic.
Yeah, well, yeah. In that time, I met Jack Hare, right? So the famous activist Jack Hare. I'm at this a normal conference and have all these edibles, all cookies, especially back then. And it was, I think 2008, right? And I meet him, and he's a diabetic. And he can't eat anything that I make. I hate it. There's nothing I can give him. So it sucked. You know, I was all, oh, wait, I'm peddling. No, I'm peddling drugs. I'm not peddling medicine, right? Because this guy, I would kill him.
I got you.
So that changed my whole trajectory. And then I went back and I started doing raw food, and we started doing RSO. I met all of the crew, right? Dennis Perrone and all the people who ever wrote, Valerie Carell, they all taught us that about RSO, right? And Rick Simpson. So that's
everyone's back that all these corporate guys are standing on now. Not saying that you're lumping in, but these are the pioneers, the people.
I'm old school.
The people
man.
that stepped up.
I'm not worried about it. Anyone could just Google me. You'll see pictures with all those people.
The people that stepped up and were sometimes lost their freedom, were ostracized in public, were written about negatively in periodicals, all those things. The people that really put their name on it.
Yeah, for sure. Because like now everyone's all, you know, what they did and this and that. And when we were living it, we were just living it.
There
man.
was no
you know what I mean?
John Sally. It was Dennis Perrone.
Yeah,
right?
And
it was Jack Hare.
When I met Jack, what he changed for me is that everything that I had thought I knew about cannabis and everything that I had thought I knew about everything was wrong. You know what I mean? I thought that I was just living, this illicit drug, right? And I was some activist and we were pushing it, right? And then to really understand that we could change people's lives and I could like make people that were sick come back from that. And then I got a call from Rick Simpson. We started doing Rick Simpson oil, or we call it back then, right? RSO all the time. And we were just giving it away to patients that had opioid problems at our collective. We weren't even charging them back then because we didn't even know. We weren't sure. This guy was telling me it cured cancer. And I was like, it's a plant extract. I don't know. We're growing it in the backyard. How could it cure cancer, right?
Yeah.
So but we just kept doing it, and then we were giving it to patients, and then that's a whole before this big FECO thing or whatever they want to call it now, but it's RSO, man. He was the first one to say, let's do this extraction. This is gonna do this and that. So when we worked with those angles, we got to learn that it is changing the world. And then back then, what we were doing wrong was we were focusing too much on THC. So like I'm only glad now that the science is so good was because the CBD is there and like all the cannabinoids, right? I keep doing all these
Full spectrum.
Yeah, I keep doing these conferences and I keep meeting scientists and everyone's like, we're on the 60 cannabinoids now. It's still going. And they don't even understand what they're doing, right? So they still have no idea what all of those 50 are even doing in there, right? So the more and more that we focus on the plant in scientific realms and that we keep making better extractions and cleaner and like we can really make medicines that are going to change people. The real thing for me, what I believe about cannabis in general or hemp is that we're just malnutrition. You know what I mean? Like even if you just want to think of it from that, like our human race has grown up with hemp, right?
Yeah, we have an
for years and years.
Cannabinoid system that we have evolved with.
Yeah. So we're just malnutrition, everything, right? So that's why everyone always is like, oh my God, the oil's a miracle. It fixes everything, right? It isn't that. Your body's a miracle, right? So like you're the miracle. It's just this plant is giving you the like strength and like the, if you have all those systems that are always fiending for CBD. Always, right? They're always looking for a cannabinoid. So if you don't have it, then you would be malnutrition just by logic, right? Not even by anything else, but by logic. So that's when people start, eating a lot of CBD or eating hemp, they're all like, oh, it's magic. Or, my one thing I want to push that I'm going to be on this show is I think people need to get away from CBD only, though. I think it's too big of a push right now. I think that even the kids that I've dealt with a lot of kids that were seizing and
stop right there, Mike. Stop
Dude,
right
they
there.
found some CBD products to have opioids in it recently, and people
that's
were
terrible.
dying.
But stop right there because CBD, in my opinion, with hemp farms lining up, and in California, Prop 64, all the small farmers that grew flower that you typically would be mainly THC flower. We're worried about these huge farms coming in and pushing them out of business. Those farms, the 500 acres, are for hemp. Yeah. They're for hemp production. The hemp market is going to be 10, 20, 50 times greater than the get high.
Yeah,
market.
for sure. That's what Jack always said, that hemp was going to save the planet. That goes to this whole thing.
And that's true, but because of the CBD,
wears no clothes.
But, but what you're talking about, because of CBD is the main derivative of what they can consume outside of textiles and fuel and all that, of where people are putting it into, and they have miracle elixirs. I agree that CBD, focusing on just CBD, is robbing yourself of the full spectrum and the full effect.
Well, for me, here's the thing. Okay, so if the euphoria is there, all right, no matter what you believe, God.
You seem like a happy guy, so I think you are probably euphoric all
the time. Yeah, for sure. Well, I've been talking about this now for 15 years maybe. I've had my rec, so I've been doing like
every day. He's happy.
Yeah. Well, look, if you know that the THC is there to make you get out of your head, right? That's like the biggest thing I think THC is for. So when you're sick, right, all you do is think about being sick a lot. You sit there, you think about the pain, you think about like, oh, I don't want to get out of bed. How am I going to pay for this? How am I going to? So you can take as much CBD as you want, then it makes you focus on that. Because then now your mind's clear, you're thinking better, right? But now you're focusing on like, oh my God, I can't pay for anything. How am I going to keep, right? So I feel better maybe physically, but my mind is racing because now
is eating edibles like the sun to me is the ultimate light. It's a full spectrum light, and looking at a plant as a full spectrum, right?
Yeah, for sure. I'm all about that.
All I'm saying is having.
Well, let me give you a little anecdote of my own. My sister, who has been battling terminal cancer throughout her body, taking RSO and full spectrum hemp oil, CBD oil with a 0.03 THC or lower. It actually mellows her out because she's not a smoker or someone that recreationally uses pot. But she takes RSO at the full dosage, and come on, like if you just go straight to taking full dosage of RSO of what you want,
even a little bit of THC,
you're basically gonna hallucinate, or you're not gonna. So the anxiety for her is counteracted by the CBD. You're talking about that it brings in. So she uses that to counteract the RSO, but the full spectrum, those two together make it a pliable option for her. And I think that's what you're getting at. The full spectrum of everything needs to be introduced. And you're doing that. But you're doing it with raw food, which is weird as fuck. Because I think about cooking and infusion. I'm here with the hydroponic chef. He's cooking up all these Italian dishes. He's like, hey, man, hey, what's the matter for you, T? Eat this pasta.
This is shrimp
Right?
skunk scampi.
But that's not raw fish.
Okay, well,
not raw fish even, but raw
food.
foods. How do you infuse something you ain't cooking?
Okay, well, let's just talk about one thing. Okay, so we know that most people that are sick, like legitimately are sick, have a stomach that's compromised, right?
Yes.
So they're not going to be able to ingest a lot of things. So they need things that they're going to ingest that are highly bioavailable, okay? Well, most cooked foods aren't, because the body has to build enzymes to break it down. Like, no matter what's happening, the body has to, like, produce enzymes just to break down the dead food in your body. Okay, so raw food, or no matter what it is, plant material or, like, powdered from dry leaves, all right, if it's never heated, then normally the enzymes are still there. So when it's in your body, it's easily digested. The body is like, all right, hooray, right? I don't have to struggle. Okay, so let's just talk about I got cancer. I'm stage 4 cancer. I'm sitting at home. I am bedridden, and I only can have 1 or 2 meals a day. Okay, so
I can only eat bananas. How do you make a infused banana?
I would probably it'd have to be a shake or something, right? Bananas and
Right.
some kind of greens, or for
I
me,
got it.
everything. If you got any kind of cancer, you have to eat foods that have high oxygen content, or that will convert to oxygen in the body, right? So if you can eat a lot of chlorophyll, that's what I learned the most is what the raw food people. Okay, they're not thinking about cannabis, right? They're just thinking about how to heal the body with foods that are natural, right? So almost every, they call them life coaches or whatever. Right now, they're getting those like holistic degrees. Anyway, so every single one used
Where
chlorophyll.
do I get one of those?
Oh, there's all kinds of school. Integrative nutrition is probably the best one right now.
I'm going to Trump University.
I think I'm going to actually go to Northwestern U to get like. I'm pretty sure I'm going to get my Ayurvedic license, because I'm already trying to, like, any Ayurvedic.
I can't even say that. What is it?
It's basically Indian medicine. It's like how to heal the body with plants. I mean, leading into that, that's what I'm doing with myself. I'm pretty sure I have something wrong, especially with my prostate. So I don't know that. I don't go to the doctor.
Aaliyah, let's check this out.
He's
Aaliyah, you're needed in the examination room, Aaliyah.
It's all good. My girl's back there.
Oh,
see, now you're getting him in trouble.
Yeah. Anyway,
Aaliyah will check your prostate from behind.
I kept going to the doctor, and he was giving me pills that were making me sicker. Or basically, I've been a partier my whole life, so I have addictive tendencies. So if a drug's gonna make me feel like I was hungover from alcohol, then I want to just drink alcohol. Like, what the hell's the point? You know what I mean? I could just what's the point? So anyway, I stopped taking that. So I went home. And I wrote a formula that I thought would work, and basically now I am taking my extractions, what could be a lot of CBD. I'm doing full spectrum, the best oils I could get, even if it's costing me too much at the retail markets or whatever. So then I'm melting those into good fats, which are coconut oil, hemp oil, and flax oil with EPA and DHA, which is actually brain food, and then some MCT oil, which converts to ketones in the liver and actually carries the THC and the CBD directly to your liver. So I'm taking that fat, and then I'm powdering that down with a seed meal of sunflower seeds, flax seed, hemp seed, and then I'm dehydrating that into a powder. Then I'm adding that to an Ayurvedic, so basically an Indian medicine. That will cleanse my liver and my lungs and my kidneys and my blood. So I do all that. It's, some of the ones.
You're empowering your body to heal
Yeah,
itself.
well, the one scientist I met, the ones that discovered those 60 cannabinoids from UCI, said that the more you make bioavailability for the cannabis to get to you, is the best. Okay, so all these edibles with sugar and all those ones that are heavy, right? The body has to build a lot of energy to get to it. So I knew if I could give it in a form that the body would be excited, it would have this one supplement I use is called Moringa, and it has almost 90% of like daily vitamins you can ingest from a plant in one leaf.
Okay.
So in Africa, the people are just eating it with water because that's all they can afford or whatever. So they're living on just that one leaf in a powdered like green drink, right? So that's in there. So I already know that I can live on the powder if I just did that plus the seed meals. And I just think that today's world, we're so much relying on whatever the doctor's going to say or whatever this and that. And the plants are, that's why I like these kind of shows. I've been growing my own medicine for so long, and I've been trying to get into other plants. I have a lot of people that are doing all the cactus and all the fun trippier, funner.
The holistic medicinal
Yeah, the
plants.
holistic, plants. I think that's
Allegedly.
my next frontier. I'm pretty sure I'm going to start getting into it.
Chef, I mean, talking about raw foods and stuff, how about raw cannabis?
Okay.
You know, people are always, you got to decarb it, you got to get it ready, it's got to have the THC has to be activated if you want to get loaded, for sure. What it does potentially, have you done any raw cannabis?
I juice a lot.
Dishes, and is there a different montage of effect?
I would say that if you're going to juice it, the only real effect would be kind of body euphoria, because you're getting like that THCA in you, and it's kind of like...
Because I think if you heat stuff up, you may be activating, but you're destroying other parts.
Yeah, I'm definitely anti-decarbing. I'm anti-decarbing because the science now has shown that THCA in edibles protects THC from getting kicked out of the body. Okay, so like when you eat THC, like the body's seeing it actually as you're overdosing, or it sees it as kind of a poison. So like even though I'm talking about like your liver, right? Not like your body's freaking out. It's like your liver is like, oh geez, I need to hurry up.
It's a sewage plant of your body.
So this is just like plants, and
just like drinking alcohol,
like
your
a SARS.
It's like, oh my god, so it starts producing stuff that's gonna kick it out of your body, right? So they found that the THCA acid actually protects the THC from being kicked out of the body. So like if you're adding THCA to any of your edibles, it's going to last 8 hours compared to maybe the 2-hour heavy dose that you would from decarbing. So like maybe you know what I mean? You are great. Yeah, my brownies are the best, right? But they drop off right away. Right, and that's because of that. You're converting everything to THC.
Oh, you don't want to get loaded. You want to have the health benefits of growing your own. Why you grow your own garden in your backyard, vegetables and things like you talked about, eating raw food, the raw availability. If we go back to our evolution, and I see it, they didn't necessarily have fire every night where they're cooking it, but you can pick up this flour and eat it and not get ill. And little did we know that it's actually beneficial, and our body, it's so prevalent that our bodies actually evolved to have inputs for things specifically made from these type of plants, the cannabinoid families.
Yeah, for
right?
sure.
And the mother's breast milk is the only other thing outside the plant world that produces cannabinoids, right? So a human's mother's breast milk produces cannabinoids, that input. So some people in the prohibitionist era that got breastfed but were anti-weed and never smoked, never got cannabinoids again. You think they're healthy? No. Look at Mike Pence, white walking motherfucker. Allegedly. But no, you get the fuck out of here and do your union time. I'm talking to Chef. No one needs you here.
Nah.
You just keep going. This is grow time with Heavy T. You dig? You dig.
So let me talk about one thing.
No, you're not going anywhere.
Okay,
Mike.
well, I want to talk about how people at home can do some
what I
raw
want to ask.
food.
That's what I want to ask. How can the people that grow their own, grow their own, can utilize the byproduct, the leaves and sticks and stems, as well as their flowers in their home?
Well, okay, so we're gonna just talk about raw. Let's talk about the THCA and like all those 60 cannabinoids that we know now are in the plant. Okay, well, for me, the best way to get it out is like the sun tea method, is to put whatever you want to extract in, whatever the soft solvent you're gonna use, right? The soft solvents are like oils and butters and sugars, right, and all that. So if you do a big glass jar like you would do sun tea, right, and put your plant material in, and then cover it, and then put it in 8 hours a day in the sun. In 8 weeks, you're gonna have THCA filled, whatever, right? Untouched, unadulterated.
8 weeks of THC.
Well, no, I know, but this is what it is. It is what it is.
8 weeks?
Yeah. So you could do it faster.
I make sun tea in hours.
I know, but it's not gonna be the same. Like, trust me, this is like I'm giving out stuff from. Like I was on panels with guys who have
agree.
won.
I'm sorry for interrupting.
Give it to him, Mike. Stuff, and I've never even done
Listen
it.
up.
I know it works because this guy was like, this is how we're doing our award-winning. I've won high times 3 or 4 times. Like they're doing THCA tinctures that way, olive oil, and they just got 1,000 jars out there in the grow, wherever the grow's at, and they're having it right next to the outside. That's how they're rocking it. So, but really, if you're at home and you got the time, I mean, you could do it in quicker, but cooking THCA kills it. It activates it into THCA.
Is that just the foliage that you're taking off and you're grinding up and putting in
exactly.
Bags?
You can just let it soak.
Water leaves, just parts of the plant.
Yeah, because most of it, especially if it has like the trichome on it, right? If it's, for me, I'm old school, man, and I work with Rick and Jack, so I'm cut from the bottom and I just hang the whole thing, and I'll grind that whole thing down into, that's my extraction. Like there isn't like parts of the plant. I'm like, these 5 over here are for oils or whatever, you know. And then I would say if when I'm in full bloom, it's like 3/4 up, and we're just keeping this tops, and the rest is oil. Because I live on it. It is what it is. I could go without smoking ever, and just as long as I have my edibles and to get through my normal health day.
So a solid sun tea. And then thinking about how easy that would be for people to ingest that maybe have compromised gastro.
Well, yeah, because like it's actually not, it's just the method, the way you do it. So you would do like any fat you want, For me, I like MCT oil is probably my favorite right now.
Refined coconut oil.
Oh yeah. Well, it's less saturated fat in it, right? So it's not as bad for you as medium chain triglycerides. It's THC we already know is converted in the liver, right? We already know that. So if the oil,
what about, like,
I know
saffron?
THC grows on my buds.
Yeah. You think saffron oil would work good?
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure.
So
Yeah, and then it's good for
$1,000 for a thing this big.
Yeah, but it's good for digestion. So like that would be good for sure. But the MCT oil is digested in the liver, so it's carrying the THC directly to where it needs to go to be digested. So that's why you get an instant. Like if you do a dropper of MCT oil under the tongue, you're probably high within like 30 seconds, and it's because it's going directly to where it needs to go.
Dang.
And
Your brain.
Yeah, well, I'm kind of getting away from pushing so much. Look, if you're sick, you shouldn't be eating real edibles. You should be doing droppers, or you should be doing, things that get the medicine to you with less digestion.
I agree.
Well, dude, getting back to the sun tea oil shit, I mean, what if you took a photo spectrometer out and read the par levels or whatever the light levels was that the jar's getting? Could we get a light and synthetically reduce? If it's an 8-hour light cycle, how many hours does it need to be off?
Well,
this indoors?
Well, yeah, because what I had thought is that you could buy those like a solar oven, you know what I mean? And those hold they hold like twice as much. You can get a few pounds.
Is it a spectrum that they're getting from the sun?
Well, I think it's because
that's some hippie shit.
Yeah, I think it's probably just heat.
Snake
oil.
It's the heat.
I think it's just the heat. Yeah, I think you're right.
Heat.
Yeah, and then like
if you try to make sun tea in the wintertime, it's not as good as when it heats up in the sun.
And it's sterilized.
And they're Humboldt growers for sure. So this is a Humboldt thing. So you're 100% right.
I don't want to say Humboldt anything,
just
man.
saying,
No, I said Humboldt.
If you want to sit there and mass produce it, like for beneficial reasons, if it's that good for you. I'm just saying, it's like, okay, we indoor grow. Can't we just manipulate that system and do it indoors?
I'm sure if someone has a science, they could, if they're listening now, they will figure it out and get it right.
Well, if it's for the people, they need to release that.
Chef Mike, guys, we got to pay these bills and take a quick break. But Chef Mike, I want you, juicing, raw food, utilizing the entire plant. I've seen you all over the media, social media for one. I know you got things going on. Why don't you give a shout out to where people can follow you and see what's up and coming?
All right, well, if you want to follow the restaurant, we are at Brew Hawg, and that's BREWHAWG. And to follow me personally, it's at Chef Mike DeLeo, which is SHEFMIKEDELAO. And follow me on that, and make sure to watch Cooking on High on Netflix.
Follow Netflix. Follow Stage, the number 13 network.
Stage 13, our parent company producers.
You can go online and check out stage13.com. Cooking on High. Go watch it. And hey, don't be such a critic. If you want to be critical of Mike, come into his restaurant and tell him this shit sucks.
Yeah, that's the one thing is I have a restaurant in Orange County, and we're in Orange. You can come and have my food anytime if you like the show. We won't be able to be medicated, but you talk to me personally, and we will work it out.
You the man, Big Mike. I appreciate you coming through. If you want to hang out and talk more grow, because we've got callers that want to talk grow, a couple more guests coming on too. Hang out the rest of the night. Did you bring food?
No, I didn't bring food.
Damn. You got to work 60 hours, so if you got to
leave. You can have me for a little while. I do have to open the restaurant at 7, though.
All right, man. Big Chain Mike over here. Heavy T's Grow Show. You did go follow Cooking on High. # Cooking on High. All right, Heavy T's Grow Show. We're coming right back with more of your grow questions, grow talk, and more guests. 562-653-0707. And now, Horty Chris, you can have your union time. You guys just run.
Slam it like like a car door, keep you on all four, give you it hardcore, how you deserve it. You already know the ledge, live life over the edge. I fucked with you on the red. Look at all this blood that I bled. I took the fall, but I got up, brushed myself off, and I kept skating right to where you were located. That ass deserving ovation. Time with you never wasted, and our conversations are spoken mainly through body language. Concept is complicated. Before I grind, I'ma need some wax. This kind of coping don't crack. I prefer to keep my bands on when I'm climbing in from the back and say I'm keeping her grounded, and she keep me on wood. My bottom bitch, I admit I don't treat you like I should.
On my skateboard, baby, cause I wanna ride ya, something like a grip tape, yeah. Cause I can't wait to lay you down, and I plan on riding all night, yeah. Till the sun comes up or the cop lights flash. I'ma play the top, you just play the bottom. As long as you rollin', you know that I'm right.
There should be no debate on where you came from. Birthplace, that Golden State. I rode a 8.5, non-ply, no rollerblades on my toes. Before this thing went in vogue, I was still skating on bones. Even had a brigade of my own. Anxious, couldn't wait to leave home. Yeah, to hit a curve and some stairs. With the herb in the air, to drop in the vert, I was scared. I had a board I named Medina. After abroad, I was seeing both remind me of each other. And the reason I knew it would end in pieces. And I'd have to find another, treat that rubber like a helmet. That was advice from my brother. Treat my wood like my woman, and my woman like my wood. Oh yeah, she bad, and that's bad. You remind me,
boy, baby, cause I wanna ride ya, something like a grip tape, yeah. Cause I can't wait to lay you down, and I plan on riding all night, yeah. Till the sun comes up or the cop lights flash. I'ma play the top, you just play the bottom. As long as you rollin', you know that I'm riding,
Remember when we were kings? Singing songs that a free bird sings. My phone was off the ringer. Nowadays I don't talk so much. The thoughts are cleaner, clever dreamer. Screen a movie in my mind of cherished time with frames missing. We're like the finest of wine, grown on a vine in a village with no name written line for line. I am the best they've never heard of, still trying, standing strong like a lion with this iron heart of mine. This is someone's floor though, Bordeaux vintage grind. This ain't Carlos Rossi, came with posse, that's divine. Soul, body, and brain probably, a range of angels. Mine, she looks over me, story let the pain tell. Rain, the sky drops, just windows for a tricops. Ain't for the faint of heart, I keep the tears inside a dry box. Ox shoulders, cold as or Watts block patrollers. No cops or bars could ever hold us, just cop these bars of ours and join the chorus. I'm on the cusp of tourists, Gemini high the purist. Yes, I missed the music and the truth is it was glorious. Morphed into a minuscule, misleading tutorial that's torturous. Now I am just the tortoise, the crow that's my bro. None can blow down this fortress or chop down these orchards. Autographs on our portraits. Lazy ass, no crazy cash. She passes, I porch sit. Force fit instead of forfeit. I can't abort this. Mission edition's gold. Plus or minus designer touches. Catalog is in my clutches. Past the Duchess to the left hand side. And that's that Westland pride, yeah. So let the best man rise beyond horizons. If that don't speak to you, then just keep on devising. I had a plan and so I wrote it in the sand with a stick inside my hand, and now I'm sticking
to DFCRadio.com.
I tell you, this is the life.
Ever since we started working here at Sanctuary Soil, I couldn't be happier. It's nice to work at a place where they treat you like the artist that you are.
Tell me about it. So many places just throw you in the dirt, feed you junk, and drip water on your head.
Yeah, sounds more like torture than a job.
And how do they expect you to do great things when they don't give you the right tools? I can't do it if you treat me like garbage.
I hear ya. You give me the highest quality organic materials like woody biomass and grasses, put me in a healthy, clean environment, and I can practically poop gold.
Not to mention alfalfa meal, arborist material. They even bathe us in a healthy biological tea full of enzymes and other good stuff. You know, I get a little choked up just thinking about how all those customers are gonna benefit from the hard work we put into providing them with the best products available.
I just wish more companies were like Sanctuary Soil. It's nice to work with people who care about their customers and care about the environment.
Yeah, this is the life. Hey, I'm pretty full. Think it's about time to go make some magic, if you know what I mean.
Well, a worm's work is never done.
See you in a few.
You got anything to read? This could take a while.
Sanctuary Soil's Buckaroo brand premium worm casting, the all-in-one soil amendment that's safe for the environment, children, and pets. For more information and to see a list of current retailers, visit our site at sanctuarysoil.com.
Sorry, Horty. Game over.
Hey, Dr. Duff, are you signing up for another one of those internet dating sites after your divorce?
Nah, I'm just ordering these freaking douchebags from China here. Just gonna be saving a lot of money on it. About $1 a bag.
Did you say douchebags?
Yeah, they're pots. They're fabric pots. They're, made in China. They save $1 a bag from all the other.
Oh, it sounds like an imitation smart pot or something.
Yeah, save $1, but, I'm pretty sure these douchebags are gonna work.
Dude, I had a buddy of mine who used those same douchebags. He bought them direct from China. It killed his whole garden.
Bro, what? So, I'm better off spending that extra $1 on a smart pot?
I'd get a smart pot.
Don't be a Duff man. Make sure to buy the original patented Smart Pot. Check them out at smartpots.com.
The cannabis portion of this show is designed as entertainment only for legal medicinal cannabis patients over 21 years of age and is not meant to encourage any other activity or use. Yeah, Dick.
Hey, man, you started early, huh?
Hey, I'm in the zone.
Dude, this shit is
You're listening to Heavy T's Grow Show. Call in right now, 562-653-0707 for your chance to talk to Heavy T, Horty Chris, and the Duff Man only on DFCRadio.com.
So you're big time, huh?
Yeah, kinda.
The next level of grow is here. The growing revolution is here. DFCRadio.com. DFCRadio.com.
Yeah! Hey guys, it's Heavy T. As a longtime cultivator in both small and large gardens, both indoor and in greenhouses, I know the number one factor for being successful is to maintain an ideal environment and optimize my airflow. That is why I use and recommend Fantech controllers and EC fans. As the original inventors of the inline fan way back in 1974, Fantech uses the highest quality German motors and has revolutionary impeller technology. The EC fan creates the most efficient and powerful airstream of any fan in its class. And with the new Aeolus controller, maintaining the ideal environment has never been more simple. The Aeolus, with a variety of modes, allows me to control my exhaust and intake fans along with my dampeners from one easy to set up and use interface. And with the two expandable channels, I can maintain temperature set points in two separate spaces. So whether you're a hobbyist in your garage or a commercial greenhouse grower, it's simple. Use what the pros use. Use the Fantech EC fan and Aeolus controller. And if you're a retailer, contact Rambridge, Savant Plant Tech, or Garden Rebels Distribution and order yours today. Fan and controller sold separately.
Hey man, your garden smells amazing this year. What are you doing different?
Haven't you heard? We've been using the Terpinator.
Did you say Terpinator like terpenes?
Yes, exactly. Terpinator is designed to increase your plant's terpenes, which are responsible for everything from how your plants smell to how much flavorful oils they produce. Basically, Terpinator is the one-stop shop for an overall quality increase for your fruits and flowers.
That's awesome. You know, I can tell the Terpinator has not only increased the oils in all your herbs and flowers, but it looks like it's going to increase your dry weight as well. And dude, don't even get me started on those crystals. They look like mini icebergs.
Well, you better hurry up and get on board. It's flowering season right now. And since Turpinator is made right here in Sonoma County, you can literally find it in any hydro store in town. Boost your plant's oils and bring out flavors that will drive your friends wild. Turpinator. Sticky is an understatement.
Side diesel in my blunt, purple drink in my cup. Someone tell the DJ, crank it on up. Side diesel in my blunt, purple drink in my cup. Someone tell the DJ, crank it on up. Yeah, crank it up, crank it on up, crank it up. Sour diesel up in my blunt, purple drink up in my cup, crank it up, crank it on up.
Hey, don't worry. You can leave in just a second after we answer these girl questions. Ooh, Rachel. Oh, hey, girl. Over here. Can you give me a ride at 2:30 in the morning? Okay. Oh, there she goes. Her and Aaliyah, our fearless leader that now is upset because she thinks that I put the beer in her purse. I did not put the beer in your purse. I was not drinking beer. I was drinking hard alcohol. And beer. Mainly beer. Was it Miller Lite?
Yeah.
Oh.
I remember he like put a whole rack of Miller Lights in the fridge. Like, yeah.
I ordered 2 racks of Miller Lights, dog. I was using those Dodger Bucks. I was like,
yeah.
562-653-0707. Let's give away some Mission Fertilizer, some Smart Pots, some Turpinator, a Blue Lab meter, some green pads, General Hydroponics. What's growing on? We're here with Chef Mike.
Yo.
From Cooking on High. Blur. God damn it, Blur. He has a question for Chef Mike.
All right.
Hello?
Hey, yeah.
Is that a question or a statement?
Oh, hey, Mark. I was wondering, how do you
Mike.
make your barbecue sauce?
Well, I like to infuse into sugars a lot just because it's like a simple way for the body to ingest. So we make our base sauce regular for the restaurant, and then I would infuse honey into it just so it would be sweet and gooey and stick to whatever meat we're doing. There's a lot of ways, but usually I'm into something that would be easily digestible. So honey's got a lot of living enzyme in it, so it would be easy. You know?
About the sweet barbecue, not the tart, not the vinegar.
Yeah. At least for that one. If I was gonna do tart, it would probably be some kind of fat. You know, it would have to, because you don't want it to have that much of a flavor, right? So it could be any kind of oil, canola or coconut, or even just something that would be a little kind of bitter, and then you could hide it in your spice blend. Right, so you can add your spice blend to wherever the fat content is, and then hopefully you're using onions and garlic or something, and that's what I would add it to. And then that way, because you got to think cannabis is bitter, right? Like every extraction you get, no matter what, there's that like woo taste, right? So the way I've always beat it would be with some kind of like vinegar or chili, something with like an acoustic taste, like even garlic, like woo. So you'll ignore the cannabis taste. You'll just only be going after that other flavor, right?
I always tripped out when a chef was putting things together, different sauces, and they wanted it to be sweet, but then they would add a pepper to it. And it would bring out little things, or even a hot sauce where you have a bunch of habanero you're mixing out, then you add a shit ton of orange juice to try to sweeten it up, right?
Yeah.
Well, what is the line when you're putting stuff together of going, and if I want stuff to be hot, why add something sweet to it?
Because you're really trying to activate the taste buds, right? So that's the whole deal. Like your body is like, I guess, reactive, right? So if you're just going to eat something that's super chili, right, your body will kind of like try to fight the taste. So if you get a little bit of a counter reaction in there, the body just thinks it tastes great, right? So you stop like that. You know how capsaicin is hot. So when you're eating chilies, your body
I don't even know what that is. If it's hot or not.
Capsaicin is the active ingredient in chilies that makes it hot.
Sounds like a fine ass girl on Instagram.
Yeah, right. Oh, nowadays
she got 1.2 million followers, and her butt is real. for sure.
Also, how do you make your flavor less bitter though?
Well, I mean, I guess the only way would be your extraction would have to be clean. I guess that's why everyone's into distillate now, right? I mean, that's kind of like the new trend, is people are using a more refined oil with less taste.
But that's
really,
away from the full
it's chlorophyll.
spectrum that we're
yeah,
talking
exactly. Well, people want the chlorophyll out of the oil, right? And the chlorophyll has a lot of the enzymes and the nutrients that you want from the plant. So you're really not going to be able to get away from it if you want full spectrum plant medicine. If you just want a good heavy THC, then distillate's the way to go because it almost has no taste. But it's also refined oil. You're not going to have any of the cannabinoids really to help you in your health line. You will just have a heavy high that will drop off. So I guess it's kind of a trade-off. If you want it to taste perfect, that's why those edibles, when you buy them, and they taste so good, but they only last a couple hours maybe if you're lucky. They only
My
have.
shit does not act like that, man. I'm down for 2 days straight.
Well,
Talking about my vision is out. Turn the plane around.
Well, hopefully the ones you're getting have a more
dying.
mature THC, because that's the other thing is people are making all this younger oil, right? They're cropping plants younger, so that way it looks better in extraction, and they're not having any of the amber. They're not having the amber color. So that way when they're making their extractions, it looks good, right? Because now everyone is using oils that taste better. So but for a home grower. I got to be honest. Even I think the magical butter machine is probably the best way to go. Or any of those kind of infusion machines, because it's quick and easy, and you only need about an hour on some of them. So the lighter you do it, the better you are.
Added on to Blur's question about.
Nose or trims?
One more time? Can you?
My bad.
These nose or trims to create your oil barbecue sauce.
Okay, well, for me, as I progress now, of course, I need the strongest oil, so for sure it would be flower. But if you're going for the first time, I'm really all about full spectrum. So do a mix of it all. I never go usually over 2 ounces to about 2 cups of whatever material oil or whatever I'm going to use, because even if it's mixed, but I'm really about whole plant, because if you think about it, if you're just going after 1 or 2 of the CBD or THC, you're gonna miss this whole spectrum of what else we're trying to figure out the plant's doing for you. So if you're at home when you're growing, for me, it's just chop the plant from the bottom, choose which plants are going to be just for edibles, and you will have a stronger situation. You'll have a much healthier extraction, and what people are doing now is they're picking and choosing just so that it can be in the retail market and it can look great, but they're not making the pure medicine like you would have at home if you were growing your own.
On the cooking side of it, if they're going to add cannabis and make their own barbecue sauce, even without talking about just making a good barbecue sauce from scratch, can you give them a baseline of where to start?
Well, I guess,
like a base of what to start with. A couple additives,
like in California,
some
right?
brown sugar, some ketchup.
Yeah, brown sugar,
some
garlic, chili powder. It's
some
always
ground out shit.
I'm about vinegar, so I'm always would be like some kind of cider vinegar, onions, garlic. In California, it's ketchup-based situation or tomato-based. We do several different barbecue sauces at the restaurant. So we have the heavy, smoky ones that are real sweet. I have a few vinegar ones, and we even do a paleo one that is just caramelized onions and vinegar, basically.
Nice.
So for me, I think the bigger thing about building sauces is that you need aromatics. So like a lot of herbs or something like that can make you stand out. We do our own root beer, so we use the root beer extract in a lot of things, and sarsaparilla in a lot of the glazes.
Sarsaparilla is a real thing. It's just not from the Big Lebowski.
No, it's a root. So we use those same things to flavor the meats, and a few of the rubs is in there. So.
What's the cowboy's name in real life?
It's called the Rubbin' Cowboy.
No, in the Big Lebowski.
It's the dude, bro.
Not the dude. The dude at the end.
Hey, you can do a movie critic show after you win another grow off. And in fact, we have Blur. Good to hear from you. Hopefully you took that information from Chef Mike. But we do have the grow off peeps calling in. We got Big Jake. He's probably on the ground in Colorado. I'm not sure though, Jake.
Unfortunately, on the ground in Colorado. I was with you guys. Thanks for having me back on.
I know, man. You need to come out here and get in the studio with Sam, drink some beers, smoke some good weed, because you're in Colorado. It's a tough thing to get out there.
You guys are only growing because of Cali.
But nonetheless...
Rum chata and Coke and smoking Tangerine Power. Life sucks.
Yes, man, that does suck. But you know what is happening is the grow-off is happening again here in California. The competition, which our own Jiggity Jerome, I believe, was first place in weight. Can you actually confirm that? Because he's been walking around with something like a title belt that looked like he got from Toys R Us. I don't know if that's true.
From the top rope to go against the belt, that's rough, man. No, only Jerome could have grown 1,666 grams.
Oh, and this is confirmed. Verifiable. All right, we'll give Jerome pats on the back. No more blowjobs, though.
Hey,
that's my dude. You know what's
I
good?
got third place in potency, and I almost got third place in terpenes. I was close. It was like a 0.1 bullshit.
Almost only counts in horseshoes, hand grenades, and 8th grade sex, my friend.
Dude. I already called it, dude.
So let's slow our roll. I know we're all excited here. We're getting into our second hour. We're here with Chef Mike, and also I want to welcome Dylan. Dylan is a CAD design expert. He works at Green Coast, and if you need anything from Dylan, he has over 17 years of CAD experience and everything from commercial hydroponic facility design, indoor, outdoor, or greenhouse, equipment questions, or applications. Thanks for coming in, Dylan.
Thank you for having me.
Maybe you could ask Jake, or is it Jake? Yeah, Jake some things as well. But second year here in California, it's upcoming. Prop 215 is gone. Prop 64 is the real deal out here. It's only licensed competitors. What's happening?
Yeah, so we just launched in Northern California about 4 months ago, so people are already starting to move into flower up there. We launched in Southern California in 3 weeks. We have Burner coming down to, he's handpicked out the genetics for the next round. We work with Kevin Jodry up in Wonderland up north, so just trying to go next level, and we're working with a lot of people that are doing temp permitting because that's everybody's life, it feels like, that we've talked to. But it's a good opportunity to see actually these people that are ponying up and putting up the money, can they grow, or do they just have, bucks behind them? Because we've seen that in Colorado for years. People throw down a couple mil on a facility and they go belly up within 6 months. So this is a chance for people to really put their money where their mouth is.
This is true, too, and I like that aspect of the contest as Liberty Cannabis is snapping his hands together over here. Take it easy, Jiggity Drum.
I'm calling all 3 categories right now.
Okay, let's just calm down
I'm
so we can talk to Jake.
I'm going to be the motherfucking goat of weed, dog.
Okay, well,
there's Tiger Woods, Michael Jordan, and Jerome. You know what's good.
So the grow off, 3 categories is what it was last time. We got the yield, we have the THC, the potency, and then we have the terpene. Are we going with the same 3 categories this round, or are we switching things up?
We're actually going to drop yield we still honor yield as a category. If you can grow big plants, congratulations. But what we want to do is, number one, be able to verify everything. Just being able to figure out Jerome's plant last time took too many scales. But when we look at it, being able to make sure that we have a level playing field too. So I would love to be able to do yield, and who knows, maybe things are far enough along out there where we could look at a state licensed system and be able to pull those numbers, but for now it's just too hard to figure out. And that's one of the hard things about running a compliant competition, but that's also one of the reasons we feel like we'll be one of the competitions that'll be around in a couple of years when everybody else is just a music festival.
Right, and I understand that too, because for a long time, different cups of different nature were claimed to be bought and sold for, depending on how big your booth was, depending on how much you took out ad space. This is a level playing field for everyone to come into. The mission of the grow off is basically to find the best grower, period. Yeah?
Yeah, and Jerome can speak to this. I mean, we give it up for growers. We do, halfway parties. We try and do an award ceremony that's really not for 30,000 people. It's for 200 people that work their ass off on the farm every day, that they can bring their teams and they can feel a little bit of love instead of, feeling like they've got somebody walking up to them every 5 minutes asking for a free 1 gram sample or a dab,
Lord of mercy.
We threw down real hard in LA for the award ceremony. Jerome, did you get a tattoo?
I got a pineapple.
Yeah,
I got a weed pineapple, though.
We gave out real live tattoos.
He also got a restraining order. I love it, Jake. Let everyone know where they can go to enter the grow-off in any state, because this is just not in California. This is the competition that's about to pop off here in Southern California. But you do it in Colorado, NorCal, other states, everywhere.
Yeah, we're trying to go nationwide in Canada, too. But if you want to get into the SoCal competition, it's SoCal.thegrowoff.com. Again, that's SoCal.thegrowoff.com. There's like a 2-minute application, and then we get back to you and really get the wheels turning on that.
Hey, Jake, real quick, I have a question. You're expanding. So if I consult or help multiple different facilities in different states and countries, can I still enter?
God, I hope so. No, we want to see. Hey, listen, this
Can
is
I
our
can I
rule,
win
too.
from
We have
Canada?
companies
Can I
that'll
win
enter
from
multiple
Colorado?
different facilities. They have different licenses. Our only rule is that there needs to be an individual farmer in charge of each of those plants, and they need to be grown differently. The idea is that even one company can push themselves to grow. I mean, we had the farm, which was growing indoors, pull almost 7.5 pounds off one plant because they had a competition between four different grows, and so they really pushed themselves, and it shows what
They
you
know
can
a
do
guy
with
that has
indoor
a
competition
buffalo.
and what we can do under mixed light, under
Dylan knows what I'm talking about.
in outdoor. It's all open.
Damn, they almost got 10% of Jerome's yield.
Well, no, the thing is, they didn't use just one light, Horty.
Oh, all right. Hey,
yeah, bro.
Jake, go on over to the Grow Off. Check them out. Jake, I really appreciate you. Also, follow them on Instagram at the Grow Off. They are up there showing all the plants, showing what the results are. You want to be part of a movement, the Grow Off is what's up. Jake and Sam, thanks so much, you guys.
Thanks, man.
Heavy T, you're the man. Thank you.
All right, smoke weed every day, just not Colorado weed. Hey, that's fucked up. You said that, Dylan. All that stuff you said about
Right, he's all
Colorado.
over here
I have
going
listeners in Colorado. Just because Wade grows over there doing CAD designs in Colorado.
That's okay.
You know.
I said nothing like that.
Chef Mike, you're up in the house, man, doing your thing. You want to leave? I know you got to get going. You want to leave our listeners with any little tidbits about cooking, doing your stuff?
Well, the only thing I would say is treat yourself as good as you treat your plants, because I'm sure you have a lot of growers out here that are listening. Don't be eating McDonald's when you just spend $1,000 on nutrients for your plants every night. You get what I mean? That's like one of the biggest things I've known forever is that the grower is, spending all his money on the plant, but then he is killing himself every single night.
So you don't like Szechuan sauce?
Well, no, of course
I love it.
I'm not saying don't eat horrible. I mean, I work at a barbecue
This
restaurant.
feels directed towards Jerome specifically.
I just mean in general, man, because remember
In
to
general,
take time
for
for
Jerome.
yourself. Spend money on yourself too. Not just the plants. That's
Buy a motherfucking vegetable.
Yeah, there you go.
If it goes rotten, juice that shit.
Yeah, what are those? There you
That's
go.
mycelium in there, right? That's probiotic.
I think that
Right next to my human manure in the fridge.
don't always make your edibles with sugar. Worry about, if you're going to give a cancer patient sugar, remember that sugar is feeding the cancer.
Right.
So you're just hurting them. You're not helping them just as much as you think, all right, I'm giving them medicine. You are not. You are actively feeding the cancer that you were fighting. So try to think about what you're doing. If you're out there and you think you're a caregiver, be safer. Pay attention to what you're doing. There are a lot of sick people that are relying on you. There are people at home right now that this is the only show that they can hear, right? They're going to be alone for weeks, and then they only get to see when the weed guy now is delivering to them, or they get to hear you on right now. So if you think you're a caregiver, remember that go touch the people that you are, giving medicine to. Make sure you are in their lives and you're really doing something that matters.
Hey, if you're growing your own, you like discretion, and you want to learn how to process that into food, follow Cooking on High. # Cooking on High. Go to Netflix. Watch it. You'll see our main man, not heavy, what's it? Mr. Mike T over there with all
Chef
these
Mike
chains,
Talea,
dog.
You can
So much
see me
bling.
episode 3 and 6 winner.
Shit, dog. 10 around the neck,
Hey,
15 on the wrist.
Pound that shit. I predicted fucking a win. I'm gonna predict another win, so y'all could just after I win.
Yeah, we know you dicked it a lot. Let's go to Anthony. One quick grow question. Maybe Dylan and Horty could step in about some EC to feed your plants. Anthony.
What's up, man?
What's up, dog?
What's up? I was asking about the EC, but in week 4 and 5 of flower, I know you're supposed to push them the hardest then, but I was asking, what should my EC be at that time?
Well, that's not just that. There's not a standard answer to that. Obviously, it's the size of the plant, the amount of light you're using, the temperature, the humidity, the environment, how healthy they are. Do they look green? Do they look light green? Are you seeing some tip burn? There's so much to that. Are you in soil? Are you in hydro?
Okay.
I mean, so let's start from the beginning. Are you in soil or hydro?
I'm in cocoa.
So you're in hydro. And what are you feeding them?
Cocoa food.
Three part nutrients.
Okay, and what is your EC what you're feeding them right now?
It's 1.2.
Okay, and how big are the plants?
4 foot.
That's really low, brother.
Yeah, and what size light do you have? And is your room air conditioned and sealed and all that stuff?
Yeah, it's this single-ended 1,000 watt.
And how big is the area you're growing in?
12 by 12.
Ooh. Yeah, 1,000 watt light and a 12 by 12 is definitely not enough light.
Oh, well, I have 3 1,000 watts.
All right.
Okay.
But so EC, let's focus on that rather than digest.
No, I wasn't. I was just going along.
So a 4-foot plant, I believe you said, EC of 1.2. Even on a 500 scale, guys, we're looking at a 600 parts per million. To equate it on a 700, that's only 840 parts per million, which is really low for a plant that size.
At 4 weeks into bloom.
It's 640.
700 times 1.2 is 840.
640.
Okay. Is that?
No, is it?
No, it's 600.
No. That's 700 scale.
No, it's 600.
What?
840 and 600.
Huh? What?
Hey, Jerome, you want me to add up the spiders on your face making that beard? All right.
It looks like they're having a meeting.
10,000.
You're probably feeding a little light. What do your plants look like? Are they healthy?
Yeah, they're healthy. Sometimes when I use I'll use probably 10 mils per gallon for the full power. I see that they really react to it with the full power.
Yep.
Yeah, because it helps them pull up the nutrients easier, and they maybe. I mean, are they dark green? Are they light green? Are they somewhere in the middle?
They look good, but they're good. I just want to make sure that I'm pushing them to where they need to go.
Before we go down the rabbit hole too long, EC is like this. The amount of food is like this. The idea of nutrient lockout is kind of a misnomer. Okay, you can fuck up the pH and you could pump so much nutrient that the nutrient actually accumulates in the media and then locks out and becomes toxic. But if you're just putting a high EC in and you're able to flush everything out, the plant can't take up what it can't take up. It would be like, for instance, like you go to the Brew Hawg.
Yeah.
You go see our man Mike, right? And he puts all the best barbecue right there in the cab of your truck. Boom, all around you. And you're hungry as fuck. You're going to eat as much as you can, but eventually what's left over, you're not going to be able to take in. So putting too much in and having a nutrient burn or a nutrient lockout is kind of a fallacy, because if you are able to flush it out and get it through the plant, no matter what's available in the solution, you're not going to fuck up your plants, because the plant can't take it up. It can only take up what it's available. Do you kind of understand what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you're going to push something to the limit and raise your EC, use your additives at recommended dosages, man. People who have done this heavy lifting for us, they have dialed this in. Unless you're using raw materials, go buy the additive dilution that the experts, that the grow experts, the companies have put together for you over decades. And then adjust your EC or your parts per million with your base nutrient. And flour at that time, I mean, above 2, you got to be above 2. And sometimes I'll be at 2.8 to 3.5, depending on strain. But you also use your observation, okay? If you are looking at your plants and they're dark green, you're giving them enough. You don't need to give them more. Like cookie strains, for the most part, people think they want more and want more and want more, and they feed them a lot. But literally, they work better with less. Right? They want to be starved a little bit, and they'll respond quicker.
And a lot of OGs, you can pump the shit out of them, and they just keep going off on it, you know? So you have to use your observation. But I would raise your EC you water how many times a week? Like every other day, every day?
Yeah, every
My headset
every,
fucked up or
every
the
other
mic?
day.
Okay, every other day I would raise your EC
Hey,
by
let-
about
let-
10 to
let- let him finish
20%.
and you got your
By
chance.
about 10 to 20% at each feeding, and
this
if
out.
you see it looking better, keep doing it until you see that maybe it's not good enough. I wouldn't just go
Hey, don't
from
listen to her,
from
you don't
EC
go.
1.2
I'm
to
gonna bring
EC 3.
Blah,
But
blah,
go
blah,
from
blah,
1.2 to
blah,
1.5, and then go to maybe 1.8 on the next feeding. If it looks like it's growing better, keep moving it up until
You
you
got
see
something to
that
add?
maybe it's
You
too
got
much.
something to add?
No, I don't give a fuck. It's all good.
And then would it be the tip burn would be too much of it, or
Yeah, it could be tip burn. It could be a lot of things that you would notice that are over fertilization. But I would think that
Yeah, but like I said, the over fertilization is an accumulation of fertilizer in the grow media.
Right, you probably won't get
It's not
too
because.
high.
So if you are recirculating a very strong formula, yeah. If you have accumulation in the grow media, that is locking things out, changing the pH, becoming more acidic.
Look, I gotta chime in here because everybody's overlooking one important thing.
Hammer
EC, no, look, dude. Certain nutrients are readily available. There's chelated and non-chelated nutrients. Just like Chef Mike was saying, there's certain fats that the body could absorb more readily available. Plants are no different. Nobody's talking about that. I feed it a 1.3 to 1.8 EC with certain nutrients, and certain nutrients I could take higher. Plants can only uptake certain things. But at the end of the day, it's all about the effectiveness about what you're using. I could yield more, higher potency. I have strains that yield over 30% THC content that I'm feeding at like an equivalent to like people would say like a 1200 on a 500 scale or less than 1600 on a 700 scale. So that at the end of the day, it's not about just the simple ppm.
It's
or
not
EC.
too much or too little. It's how the plants
need to
look.
look at the plants and the nutrients and how they're actually derived and how they're actually chelated to the plant and how they're readily available. And certain things aren't able to break down certainly as others. So throw that shit right out the window. It's all about the actual nutrient you're using. And you need to look at that because certain nutrients I've fed at a 3.0 EC. And it's not like I got a better yield at something that I'm at a 1.8.
And the idea that more is better isn't. But if you overdo it, you don't go back to the other asset.
Fats are fats. Like he said, there's certain things when somebody knows the certain secrets to things. Like I'm listening to you talk about how the body could absorb things to fight cancer.
Jiggity, put on
and
your
it's,
headset so you can hear the caller.
Not having decarboxylated shit.
But listen,
you don't need to hear the caller.
The exact
No,
same,
I don't need to hear you talk about shit you don't know.
Okay.
Well, you're in the room, but the exact same thing as a chef, which is the availability of how you. It's not the experience. Listen, we can explain it to you. We can't make you understand it. It's your experience that you're going to get through it, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Making a good barbecue sauce, you're like, yeah, Blair, here's some bases, and I see. These are questions probably you get asked all the time, and they assume since you're an expert at it that you should make them an expert at it along the way. Like Jerome was saying, like we have said plenty of times, experience, observation are the key components. I would rather undershoot being able to add more because once you start the recipe, chef, it's hard as fuck to take shit out. You can't take shit out. Hey, I didn't need that much brown sugar. Scoop.
So raise your EC just about 20% or so every watering if you're trying to push it up some. So you don't go from 1.2 to 3.0.
But
Go
guys-
a little slow because you're watering every other day and push it slowly. Don't go too much too fast because if you do, you may like overdrive it.
But guys, can we agree on this? For the most part, for me, and I'll say it again, the additives that you are using, and I hope you're sticking within one nutrient line, not thinking you're mad scientists. Stick within one line, understand how that works, because there's a lot of redundancy in this game, a lot of the same shit in different colored bottles. Stick with the one nutrient line, add the additives at the recommended strength, and then adjust your parts per million or your EC with the base. Can we agree on that?
Absolutely. Use your
I
base
agree.
to adjust
I've
your
actually
EC for sure.
been involved in developing nutrient recipes over time
Yeah,
with
me
different
too, bro.
companies. And the thing is
Me too.
those
I
things
actually
are
own nutrient
developed
companies.
based on people's personal experience that are, obviously good at what they do. So at the end of the day, I'll be honest, I don't give advice that is not given at optimum levels of growth. So unless you're bullshitting with me and your grow's not at optimum, tell me what's jerry-rigged and finagled, and we'll work with that and ball on a budget, so to speak. But at
we-
the end of the day,
we don't
it's
have
like
enough
we only
time
know
for-
optimum. You should
for
only
an
know
easy
optimum,
question.
no matter what you do in love and life. Go optimum. It's like what Chef Mike said. If you're spending $1,000 on nutrients, don't go fucking buy some bullshit.
But
to put in
even
your body.
hey, jiggity. But even if you like the grow off question, right? You're gonna use what you know from your experience to grow this plant that you know don't know what
they're
the
NPKs. I'll use
But
any
listen,
fucking
listen,
nutrient out
my
there,
man. Listen,
you know?
can I ask a motherfucking question
Kenny
before you
fucking
answer?
Powers over here. You don't need to ask him any questions.
Hey, I ain't trying to be
He
the
already
best at
told you.
exercising.
He already told you.
I play real sports.
Redundant.
All right. Is that when you have a new genetic, you're not going to grow it at optimum because you're going to have to experience that. Even with all your knowledge and all your experience, you may grow like, if this is a strain that you have never grown before, do you think that you're going to grow it off optimum, off Jump Street? Honestly.
No,
and if you
at
do,
the end of
you'll
the
feel
day, I
fooling
think
yourself.
I could do it because I know how to read
You're going to be able
plants.
to,
I'm in there every day.
Right.
I could tell what they need and
But
how
my
to apply
question
it.
is this, is that the second time you grow that same plant, will it be better?
Look, I'll make
It will be.
better and better.
It will
but
be.
The first time will be better than anybody else. So
Okay,
guaranteed.
okay, you're gonna win. You're gonna win. All hell.
But you don't know?
I don't even care.
You know what's good?
All right, Jiggity. I don't even know what's going on anymore.
Yeah, me
You
either.
know what's going on,
calling
Chef
out the
Mike?
world. I'm
Is he
good to go.
sweating? Chef
Go.
Mike. Chef
Go.
Mike. He's
like, "Get me out of here, please."
Calling out the world.
He's like texting his wife.
Hey,
Tell
Dylan.
him
Nah,
we're
she's
getting-
already in the window over there.
All right,
He's
guys.
driving away.
Anthony, I hope you know what's good. We're
luck,
gonna send
man.
you some GH swag, some original green pads. Give them a squirt, let the CO2 rain down all over your plant's face, just like the peanuts all over Jerome at the Dodger game.
I hit you at least 4 or 5 times.
You
square
didn't
in the
hit
face.
shit. That my shit was legit. That was a change up, right? Dropping it
Motherfucker,
in.
you were blacked out. You don't even remember.
I might be. Right now.
Beer in the
We're also
purse.
gonna send some smart. I didn't put no beers in no purses, allegedly. But I may know who did. It was that motherfucker Tyler. Heavy T damn would never do that. Oh, look. All right, Chef Mike.
I'm out.
One more time. Hashtag cooking on high. It's Heavy T's Grow Show. We're coming back with our main man that's going to design your grow room. You want to grow better? It starts with design. Ends with it as well. We're going to know what's good. Pitfalls and everything, right?
Absolutely.
You got you, man. Come
It's
back with
all about
Dylan.
scaling.
Chef Mike, thank you so much.
Thanks
Go
for
to
having me, man.
Netflix. Cooking on high.
Yeah, everyone keep watching so that way we can get season 2 and all those little gripes you guys have, we will fix.
Oh, fuck to these guys on
What
Yelp,
grapes?
dog.
Fuck, what grapes? I don't
Oh,
listen to
no,
no fucking
they
haters.
just like
Hey, this is a little Yelp review at my hydro store.
They wanted like better
But-
stars, you know, but we didn't have a budget back then.
This is a Yelp review from my hydro store. I told owner if he didn't give me cash refund, I was gonna call cops. Owner threw reservoir at me and said, "Snitches get stitches, bitch." Yep.
All right.
Criticism isn't always bad.
Well,
Let that shit
thanks
roll.
for having me for sure. Thank you. I
FT's
appreciate
Grow
it, guys.
Show. Yeah, dig. Coming right
DFC
back.
Radio.
Right here. It's grow time.
Don't want the fame, but the change, I need all that. Hustlers get your guap up, rappers get your props up. Cause sky is the limit and we got heaven on lockup. Back down to earth, street swerving down Atlantic. Long Beach riding to death, we straight smashing. This is for my family, this is for the masses. This ADX anthem in case anyone asks me. Oh, taking this shit head on. In the streets till 6 in the morning. Niggas don't want no rockets, tell me.
Today I am hoping that I bring my love for food to the masses.
Chef Mike, do you cook high sometimes?
Every day. All day.
Smoke weed every day.
I see it for a lot more as a nutritional factor for myself. My body sees it as like a vitamin. So I eat it and
Vitamin
everything.
THC.
I make like shakes and everything. Like I don't even eat food a lot of times.
We got money to get, we got honeys to flip, got the streets on lockdown, so why would we stop now? We holding the spot down. Sour diesel Hennessy, a bad bitch next to me, ADX human going down up in history. Do it to the death of me, so ain't nothing left of me. Dumping off the weaponry, hold it down for centuries.
Taking this shit head on, in the streets till 6 in the morning. Niggas don't want no ruckus, tell me who wanted with these shots up, boys, we stay hustling. Catch me in the booth to the night, streets holding tight, grind for my life, niggas don't want no ruckus, bring the bullshit and we'll be dumping, boy, we stay hustling.
Bonafide hustler, stay up in the street, grinding all day and all night so we can eat. Roll up on your homies like niggas, stick 'em up. Now bags in the stash in the back of the truck. Pounds of the diesel, throw it in the air. Tipping Hennessy for my niggas who ain't here. Back on my feet after shedding a few tears. Give me 2 years, stacked up with a few mil. Niggas locked up, but the homies still here. Rapping ADX fresh in the full gear. Killing the recession, pumping on the chop. Teddy Brock shot, killing blue clocks. Haters got no idea you ain't ready. It'll be a sad song if you niggas test me. Them niggas tryna send 100 cops to come get me. Gibbo sprayed a couple shots and told them bitches come catch me.
Taking this shit head on, in the streets till 6 in the morning. Niggas don't want no ruckus, tell me who wanted with these shots up, boys, we stay hustling. Catch me in the booth to the night, streets holding tight, grind for my life, niggas don't want no ruckus, bring the bullshit and we'll be dumping, boy, we stay hustling.
DFZRadio.com.
Hey guys, it's Heavy T. As a longtime cultivator in both small and large gardens, both indoor and in greenhouses, I know the number one factor for being successful is to maintain an ideal environment and optimize my airflow. That is why I use and recommend Fantech controllers and EC fans. As the original inventors of the inline fan way back in 1974, Fantech uses the highest quality German motors and has revolutionary impeller technology. The EC fan creates the most efficient and powerful airstream of any fan in its class. And with the new Aeolus controller, maintaining the ideal environment has never been more simple. The Aeolus, with a variety of modes, allows me to control my exhaust and intake fans along with my dampeners from one easy to set up and use interface. And with the 2 expandable channels, I can maintain temperature set points in 2 separate spaces. So whether you're a hobbyist in your garage or a commercial greenhouse grower, it's simple. Use what the pros use. Use the Fantech EC fan and Aeolus controller. And if you're a retailer, contact Rambridge, Savant Plantech, or Garden Rebels Distribution and order yours today. Fan and controller sold separately.
So you're big time, huh?
Yeah, kinda.
Hey, I'm in the
zone.
Coming to grips with measuring pH is a fundamental part of ensuring a successful crop. Of course, having the right nutrient mix is important, but without a slightly acidic pH level, plants won't receive optimal benefits from the nutrients supplied. Blue Lab has a range of pH measurement tools available to help both the commercial and small-scale growers. These include the Blue Lab Guardian Monitor, the Blue Lab Combo Meter, the Blue Lab pH Meter, the Blue Lab pH Pen, and the Blue Lab Soil pH Meter. For more information, visit us online at getbluelab.com.
Yo, it's BKJ on Team King, and you listening to DFZ Radio. What?
Hey, bro, your garden's looking sweet, man. What are you using?
Yeah, man, I'm using a premium cocoa nutrient, Cocoa Tech A and B, man. It's an aggressive formula for increased yield during the flowering phase.
Wow, so this is made specially for cocoa?
You better believe it, man. It comes with easy-to-use 2-part formula. formulated for aggressive growth and superior blooms.
Whoa, bro.
Yeah, man. Tell 'em, Bob.
This aggressive formula contains proprietary blends of calcium to ensure your plants thrive. Backed by years of research, Cocotech Premium Cocoa Nutrients are specifically designed to support and enhance your cocoa core growing experience. Use Cocotech Premium Nutrients with Cocotech Premium Cocoa Core for optimum results.
Yeah, man.
Don't you put that evil on me!
Are you ready to start cloning but don't know where to start? HDI has you covered, the only propagation-focused company. HDI was founded in 1997 and is the master distributor of Clonex throughout North America, like the Clonex rooting gel, which has been on the market since 1988. EPA registered and approved for use on food crops and cannabis. It's the only rooting gel approved by the Washington and Colorado Department of Agriculture for propagating cannabis plants. Used by thousands of plant nurseries, commercial growers, scientists, and greenhouse growers with billions of clones successfully rooted. That's Clonex rooting gel. But healthy clones start with healthy mothers. And with Mother Plant from HDI, you are fulfilling the nutritional needs of mother plants without excess nitrates, supporting strong, vibrant clones. And now you're ready for some Clonex Mist, a ready-to-use foliar spray for mother plants, cuttings, and rooting clones. Pop your clones into Root Riot plant starter cubes, and they are safe for use in hydroponic systems and are a proprietary blend of micronutrients that is certified food safe. And don't forget to add the mycorrhiza with Clonex Root Maximizer, a mycorrhizae fungi, beneficial bacteria, and trichoderma that increases the surface area of your plant's roots, allowing the plants to access more nutrients and water. And don't forget to feed with Clonex Clone Solution, formulated for rooted clones and seedlings, a special blend of minerals and vitamins that encourage rapid root development. So no matter what your propagation needs are, remember HDI has you covered. Check them out at hydrodynamicsintl.com. That's hydrodynamicsintl.com.
You may proceed with your questions, Mr. Matson.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Smith, is it not true on the night of April the 20th, you took responsibility for 12 females, and that you immediately took those females and locked them in your basement?
Yeah, that's right. And you should have seen them, looking all pretty and such.
Yes, I'm sure they were. But could you tell the court what happened next?
I mean, I kept them down there, trying to keep them safe from the world.
But that's not all, is it?
What are you getting at?
What I'm getting at, sir, is those girls were kept in a potting soil that was so low in nutrients that they barely had enough to survive. Are these the same girls that you did not plant in Sanctuary Soils Empire Builder?
I didn't know about Sanctuary Soils Empire Builder.
You should have known that Empire Builder contains all the nutrients those plants needed, as well as beneficial bacteria and fungus. You should have known that the guanos, worm castings, and over 20 micronutrients in Empire Builder would keep those plants vigorous and healthy. And you should have known that once the plants were placed directly in Empire Builder, that all you had to do was to keep the plants watered, and you would have seen amazing results.
I'm so sorry I didn't know.
Well, you should have also known that Empire Builder is now available in 2 cubic foot bags as well as by the truckload. Your Honor, I rest my case.
I have no choice but to find the defendant guilty of not using Sanctuary Soils Empire Builder. Now get out of my courtroom.
Sanctuary Soils Empire Builder. For more information, go to sanctuarysoil.com. Sanctuary Soil. Using anything else is criminal.
The cannabis portion of this show is designed as entertainment only for legal medicinal cannabis patients over 21 years of age and is not meant to encourage any other activity or use. Yeah, dick.
Hey man, your garden smells amazing this year. What are you doing different?
Haven't you heard? We've been using the Terpinator.
Did you say Terpinator like terpenes?
Yes, exactly. Terpinator is designed to increase your plant's terpenes, which are responsible for everything from how your plants smell to how much flavorful oils they produce. Basically, Terpinator is the one-stop shop for an overall quality increase for your fruits and flowers.
That's awesome. You know, I can tell the Terpinator has not only increased the oils in all your herbs and flowers, but it looks like it's going to increase your dry weight as well. And dude, don't even get me started on those crystals. They look like mini icebergs.
Well, you better hurry up and get on board. It's flowering season right now. And since Terpinator is made right here in Sonoma County, you can literally find it in any hydro store in town. Boost your plant's oils and bring out flavors that will drive your friends wild. Terpinator. Sticky is an understatement.
DFCRadio.com.
Today I am hoping that I bring my love for food.
If I'm rolling up some trees, you can smoke with me. I like the blunt. I like the blunt. If I'm rolling up some trees.
Ooh-wee, what is? Welcome back, Heavy T's Titty Show. And Dylan's Donkey Show right here on DFC Radio.
I thought it stood for Turks.
.com. Heavy titties, you dig? Seriously, though, it's grow time with Heavy T, where we break down individual topics outside of all the shenanigans that Heavy T's Grow Show brings to you, even though that they are fantastic. And Heavy T's Grow Show will always be here through the month of August. Oh, is this the last show in August? Oh. I didn't see a calculator. I mean a calendar. Same shit. Okay, we're here with Dylan from Green Coast. The CAD. What does CAD stand for? Customer Appreciation Day?
Computer Aided Design.
Fuck your computer, dog. How's your computer going to help me grow better?
With me?
What do you do? Like you tell me where to put the reservoir so I need less pumpage or some shit?
Yeah, exactly. Whatever you want. Whenever it comes down to like your style of grow, I'll work around that. Whether you're running tankless and you're going with the Netaflex or the Netajet, or if you're still hand mixing and going that route, and we'll just design the facility around how you run your grow. If you're one veg per 4 blooms and doing
so
short
you're not
veggies,
trying to force it down anyone's throat. You're working with the grower.
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
we see, dude, I own shops, you work at shops.
Yeah.
People come in from all walks of life. And they have something in their head of what they want to do.
Exactly.
And as a designer, whether you're the sales guy, if you're making the computer models, whatever it is, you got to try to fill that expectation, yeah?
Yeah, and the customer's always right whenever it comes down to the way they run things.
Except when they're not.
And I'll
so
put
this
in my
is a
2
question.
cents, yeah.
Okay, this is my question for you. Some of the pitfalls, some of the things where consumers come in with something in their head, prescribed in their head that they're going to do it a certain way.
Oh yeah,
and they don't realize. Is it not? For me, when I work, I'm like, first thing I ask them, how much amperage you got?
That's one of the very
right?
first things. Yeah.
I've got 22,000 square feet. How much amperage you got?
Yeah.
What? Well,
you got triple phase?
Yeah. And then it's not just how much amperage you have. It's like if you don't have enough, well, how quickly can you get more?
Yeah.
Or it's even after that is, will the city even allow you to get more? Or will Edison allow you? Or, LADWP or whoever.
So at Green Coast Commercial, where you guys are with your design, are you able to facilitate and connect those elements for our listeners?
Yeah, I mean, I can do all the calculations needed. So we'll design the facility out as the grower wants. If they want a special break room or an office or something like that, if they have a special drying method, we'll make sure the drying rooms are to spec the way they want it. I'll put in my 2 cents to help with the efficiency of the building, like saying, we've got all these columns or we've got all these beams that are intruding. Let's arrange the rooms this way to make the facility as efficient as possible.
It makes sense.
Maximizing the canopy, when it comes down to it.
And efficiency, tell me if I'm wrong, and it isn't all about the number of lights. It's not the most lights you can cram into it.
No, it's exactly right. I get a lot of people that come to me that are trying to just force everything in there.
More.
The more. But if it's hard to work, if you're not being able to control the environment properly, these are all factors that we take into take an aspect for the grower themselves. You can get a lot of really long, skinny rooms, and I know from personal experience that that may work.
A lot of duff coming out of these motherfuckers, right?
Yeah, sometimes, but it's harder to control that environment. Whenever you got long, skinny rooms and the meters can't really calculate the drift, like the CO2 drift, like fuzzy logic back in the day.
Right, so that's on top of it, too, because you can look at a overview, and think of this as a CAD design is kind of like a blueprint.
Yeah.
You got an overview of where everything goes, how it's going to set up, all the technical information, so the electrician comes in, the builder comes in, the plumber comes in, it's all right there. And when you have it lined up, a certain aspect, people that are doing CAD design for grow rooms that aren't growers sometimes have problems with airflow.
Oh, yeah.
They have problems with setting it up as a grower would.
Mhm.
And I assume that you know the grow part of it, too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I've been growing, for quite a while as well. Ever since I was at Green Coast. It's, grow rooms and grow facilities designed by a grower for growers, I can't stamp my own drawings. I'm not an architect. But what I do well is I work great with architects and engineers, and I can facilitate that for the clients. If somebody's coming to me with an architect that doesn't have an engineer that's familiar with the cannabis industry, yeah, I can facilitate that, or vice versa. Or if they have their own architect or somebody like a buddy or something like that they want to throw the business.
Everyone has a buddy.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, shout out to Captain. What's that guy's name? Captain what? The guy that fucked up my floor and everything. Captain Ron? Yeah. Contractor General. Fuck you.
But yeah, I have the privilege to work with a lot of these architects that are brilliant in their own industry, in their own field, but when it comes down to grow rooms and understanding what it takes to run a grow, and unless you've been in there and you're there all day, 12 hours a day with your headphones in and your long
those
sleeves.
guys have huge egos too.
Yes,
they're getting large
yeah.
six-figure checks just for making some drawings, and not just for making some drawings, designing things.
Yeah.
And engineers do not
No,
want to
and I know.
compromise because this is the way it needs to be.
But even though you work for one of the largest retailers in Green Coast, and you're a normal dude growing, doing the computer designs, all that, and someone has an architect that designed this fucking beautiful building and stuff, how is it tough to reconcile the egos? Where do you have to eat shit is kind of what I'm asking until they understand that you know what the fuck you're talking about?
Sometimes, because they really want to run the show, and I let them,
And say, how about this? And you're like, because. But
Yeah.
just like I said earlier, I can explain it to you. I can't make you understand it.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, and they know a whole lot. Like they can tell me fire code, they can tell me ADA compliance, and all of this didn't matter 3 or 4 years ago. Everybody's underground. It didn't matter what you were doing. It's just you were throwing up lights, trying to get along as you could, and then now everything matters. Everybody's, you have to have employee amenities, break rooms, bathrooms, ADA compliant bathrooms, and fire, aisleways now have to be 28 inches to 36 inches wide, and even with these floating tables, you got to pick the right floating table or the, rolling bench design,
Right.
You got to pick
Has to be anchored the correct way.
Exactly.
Make sure
Proper height for
Yeah.
ADHA stuff.
You can't go super wide with the tables because there's a reach factor involved. If you're in a wheelchair, you can only reach so far. So they take that into aspect there, and or that's what I do. And I'll try to lay out the rooms as best as I can. I'll hand that over to the architect, and then he will say yay or nay, like, oh no, we got to add a door here, or let's move this. And then I got to talk to the security guy, or like, okay, well, I can't see that corner, and that's a scary point. Like,
Or
we
the
can't.
city maybe says,
Mhm.
oh, you need to change that part right there because we're not comfortable with that. So,
Yes, exactly. And
which they probably always do.
yeah, all the time.
Unless
Every-
you know
every
the
time.
inspectors where Captain Ron comes in great for it, because they're like, hey Bob, you get those Dodger tickets I gave you? Yeah, I sure did. Sign you off. Whoop whoop.
Didn't even come inside.
Hey, did the fire guy come? Nope. I'm signing for him too. Whoop whoop. Then,
Exactly. It's sometimes and depending on what city it is, it's about who you know.
well, in Long Beach, it's definitely about who you know,
And-
for sure, and who you don't know.
Yeah, and how quickly you're going to get through that system.
It is. That's called the truth. Now, for lower, not lower end, but smaller growers,
Yeah.
you have the same service available.
Absolutely. Anybody, any size, from 4 lights to 4,000 lights, it doesn't matter. We'll negotiate fees around that, for larger grows, there's more time involved and everything like that. But with some, if you've got a garage or you've got, a basement where you want to throw up 12 or 30 lights or, a
Damn,
couple
you got a
thousand.
big garage, dog. Where you at? You live in Bellflower?
Not quite.
You got horses and shit on your property? Damn, the only Bellflower around here got the garage
yeah.
that, but you got a barn, sucker.
Plastics too.
No, but that's called the Truth Williams on the same way. If you have 4 lights and doing it right. Like you talked about time and effort. You sit there, you're on YouTube, going through all this misinformation. There's a shit ton of misinformation out there, and that's even though we have a good time here and the bickering and all around, we all know what the fuck we're talking about.
Yeah.
Right, and that's why you're here. That's why our guests come. That's why our callers call. Is knowing what's going on and the time saved. The value of that is huge.
Oh yeah.
And if I come in and I want you to design a 4-liter, and I'm using a method in a 10-gallon pots, with just basically a plant. A light, right? Like Jerome. I'm within my compliance. I'm just personal.
Yeah, absolutely.
You set me up. What's that going to cost me, or what's the value in doing it the right way when I use your service at Green Coast?
Well, cost can vary. There's so many variables. We all know that on what equipment you're going to use. But it's all about the time you spend with your plants. If I've sitting there hand watering all these plants myself. I get a little bit of time to look at it, but I'm usually making my count, or I'm, counting down until I, switch to the next pot, not really paying attention to the plant itself. But if I set up an automated watering system, if I have my environment in check,
the designer in you and not the grower?
That's, well, a little bit of both. I mean, I've done both. I've had my own garden where I've set and hand watered, and then I've set up my own irrigation, following the plans I design every day.
Have you followed your own plans and you were like, this was shit plans afterward?
No.
They could have been better.
No, there's always improvements,
I agree,
as the industry is growing, so many people outside the industry are coming in with ideas that are affecting them in so many positive ways, or I'm building better relationships with some of these vendors and learning more about their products and understanding why their pros are better than the other pros, or, everybody's got pros and cons, but I use the best that I can, or use whatever the customer wants and design it around there.
That's what I was getting at. The fine line of what the customer wants and his team.
Yeah.
Compared to the Green Coast team, there has to be continuity. There has to be something in between where they meet, and your job is to make that meet in a design, in a blueprint that says, "Listen, motherfuckers, you can have your cone-shaped reservoirs over here, which you don't fucking need, but we'll put these over here and make this happen. And here it is, and have a conversation, an intelligent conversation about what needs to happen.
Yeah, I'll never argue with them. I'll put in my 2 cents and say these methods could be easier or more efficient, or here's an option to save you a lot of money if you go this route. But, if you're comfortable with this and you know how your plant reacts to this method and how you run your garden, then that's the best way for them. I don't want to change them up and make them unsuccessful and then have them blame me for their non-success.
So
we have all been there.
Do you do this work outside of your main job, right?
I do side work, here and there.
So I was going to say, do you have a way that people can contact you if they don't want to necessarily go through your employer, but they just want to have something that you can do on the side?
Yeah, if they want to contact me through at Lingbo on Instagram, that's totally fine.
Can you tell them that what?
It's sorry, the
who the fuck uses Lingbo?
Lingbo's from the Simpsons back in the day. I was a Simpsons fan. It was the grammar robot that Lisa made back on the Simpsons many years ago.
You are a nerd.
I am a nerd.
Motherfucking computer nerd. This guy. How many Twitch accounts do you have?
I have 0 Twitch accounts.
Yeah, right. How many do you watch?
I don't watch any.
Okay.
I don't get to play Fortnite. I'm on the computer playing CAD to me. But Lingwo is L1NGUO.
And listen, Green Coast Hydro Commercial Division, they can do all the CAD designs at any time. Most good hydro shops will be able to do this for you. You got to come in and take advantage of the services. Good guys like our man here, Dylan, doing it up, talking grow. Let's talk grow with some of our callers real quick, and we'll get back to talking about a little, because I got some questions.
Okay.
Like, honestly, one of them would be shit that you might have been blown away, where someone came in with an off-the-wall request, and you're like, I'll make this happen, and this ain't gonna work, and you're like, holy shit, it motherfucking worked.
Sometimes those happen, yeah.
And you were like, damn, Jerome. Okay. It's so easy, it's just low hanging fruit. We got Alicia. Hey, Alicia, what's going on? You're on with Dylan and the crew.
Hey fellas, so I have a dilemma here.
What
I
up?
have a plant. I moved a few months ago, so I have a plant. I put it in seed back in April, and it was doing good until I moved. But now it seems to like it's stunted, like it's not growing anymore. So I'm wondering what else I can do.
Back in April, outdoors. Outdoors?
No, it's indoor.
So it's just
like
not growing. In,
stop growing or what have you. So I don't know what else to do.
since April, how big is this plant?
Well, the
8
middle
inches.
stem broke. Like I said, I moved, so it's kind of. I don't
Okay.
know if it's stress.
So how big is this plant?
It's not very big at all.
Okay, well that doesn't tell me much, girl. See, this is why guys don't have wives.
I have wives and I love her.
Maybe she answers your question specifically. How big is this plant? Like how tall is it? From the top of the soil to the plant.
It's all right. Just say so. No one knows who you are.
Maybe about 2 feet.
It's about 2 feet tall. And what size container do you have it in?
A 5-gallon fabric pot, smart pot.
Okay, and it's in soil?
Yes.
And what are you watering it? Are you feeding it with nutrients?
I'm using cultured biologics, so that's how you pronounce it. Yes.
Okay. What size light do you have it under? What's different from where you used
One
to
at a
have
time,
it
one at a time.
to where it is now?
The light's a big question. What size light?
1,000-watt LED.
So that's not. It's a. Okay. Is it said 1,000 watt on Amazon for $196, and the true pole is 96 watts? Like.
Sorry?
So the true wattage of it.
Yeah.
Is on LED.
What kind of LED is it?
It's not a name brand one. It's just one I got off Amazon.
How much did you pay for it?
I paid $90 for it.
Okay, it's not 1,000 watt.
Yeah.
It's the equivalent.
It's supposed to be the equivalent of 1,000 watts. Do you know the temperature in
a
the
3-watt
area that you
diode
have
costs
the
$1.
plant in?
I'm sorry?
What's the temperature of the area you have the plant in? And where do you have the plant? Is it in a closet with the LED in a tent?
It's in a closet.
Okay.
I went from one closet to another closet. It was, like I said, it was growing great. Temperature is about 75. I have a. Sorry, I just got off work.
It's all good, girl. We're with you. We need a slow pace, anyways. Go ahead, take your time.
The humidity is fine. It says from my thermometer. Let me go in here and look. One minute. But from what I'm looking at, the temperature is fine. It's not too hot. It's just right. I have 2 fans going in there. I'm feeding it. I'm waiting until it gets dry and, the knuckle down, check the soil.
Okay.
Did you say that the main stem broke as well?
Fine.
You said the main stem broke earlier, so you snapped the top of the plant off, and how far down did that happen?
It's not very far down. It's like at the top.
Okay, now, and how long has it been since that happened?
I moved like the end of June, so it happened then as I was moving. About June the 30th.
And how much has the plant grown since since it snapped off?
Not really at all. I mean, I still have like a bunch of leaves coming on there, but it's not getting any taller. You know what I'm saying? But
You're not gonna.
Are the smaller branches down below where it snapped off? Are they actually growing out and it's kind of getting bushier?
Yeah.
Okay, well that's supposed to happen, but I would still say if you've only had a small amount of growth since June.
The redirection of hormone, once you break
Right.
off the top, is going to make the lower branching come out. There's a dominance inhibitor at the top of the plant. That is the rest of the hormone as it moves. Every branch, every node is going to try to become the top, even the wispy little ones.
Mhm.
At $100 or so that you spend on the light, and no disrespect, it's not a 1,000-watt light. It's going to be equivalent to 1,000 watt is what they sold it to you. And if you look at the fine print in the description, it will tell you the total pull. Go back online wherever you bought it, Amazon, wherever. The total pull of it, it's probably less than 200 watts.
Yeah, or maybe even look for a sticker on
So-
the side
so-
of the
so,
unit that will tell you how many watts it has of current draw.
So a 2-foot plant isn't getting much penetration at all. The inverse square law of light penetration, you're not. at 200 watts, I mean, at the bottom 2 feet, you're getting half and half. What's that? 50 watts at the most?
And how far from the top of the plant do you have the light?
Yeah.
Okay, but so with everything, Alicia, I don't want you to be overly discouraged.
She doesn't even know.
You need. Did you flip this plant into flower?
No, it didn't get there yet.
Is it an auto flower?
Yeah.
That's why it's not growing anymore.
Right, 'cause it's flowering now.
And it's not flowering very much because it's stressed the fuck out. It might just produce a whole bunch of seed.
How far from the light is the plant?
About 3 feet.
You probably want to lower that light down to about a foot above the top of that plant.
And for moving,
and are you seeing flowers growing on it?
Yeah. I mean, my other plant I had, it was growing under the same light, and it grew great.
It was.
And
Was it
but
also
you
an
didn't
autoflower?
move it in the middle of growing from April to June.
And was it an autoflower?
Yeah, it was an autoflower.
Was it the same seed as the one that you're growing now, or was it a different brand?
It was a different one.
Right. So, like, autoflowers are known to be like weird like that. Like, some of them will grow great, and some of them just don't grow that great. So maybe this one just isn't growing as great. Plus, it was stressed. But
And
I'm
you
just saying,
moved it.
lower the light, and you moved it, and that could have caused stress. But lower the light.
You move a flowering plant from 2 different rooms on a fucking trolley, it gets stressed.
Yeah.
She moved houses. The plant's not growing or taking up water. You need to not water it anymore and let it dry out completely to help stimulate the root growth down below. More root growth will stimulate above soil line growth. If you're watering it on the same schedule that you have been, you're probably over-watering it.
Heavy tea?
No, this is Heavy Tea's Grow Show,
No,
so
I
this is
understand. I
not
just wanted
Horty
to
Chris
chime
is
in
interrupting.
that-
No, you already chimed in. I listened.
Okay.
Lord, I was born away.
Completely out. So I've been reading. I've let it dry out and not trying to overwater it.
Exactly, and you can't make it do anything outside of what you are already doing. You had to move. The plant could have gotten stressed, and now you are dealing with the adverse effects. Don't over-fertilize it. Don't give it a bunch of nutrient because, as I spoke about earlier, the plant can only take up what it's willing or can take up. If it's stressed out, it won't take up nutrition, and you keep pushing it into the soil, you're going to have a buildup of of nutrient that's going to cause a toxic reaction, fluctuation of pH, mold growth, attract fungus gnats, all different types of problems.
Hey,
you need to know. This is Heavy Tea's Grow Show. This ain't Horty Chris's Grow Show.
When the plant starts flowering, it won't continue to veg and get larger either. It will just flower. So maybe if you don't see new branches and leaves coming out and it's not getting taller, it's because it's actually flowering now. Are the tops of the branches, the
Should be
top
growing
branches,
since April, sucker.
are they like Q-tips? Are they completely like flowered?
Right. Yeah. The tops are growing. I mean,
Right, but are the tops like like white hairs and they look like Q-tips, or do they still have leaves coming out?
They probably have deformed leaves that are either single or triple blade.
Once the plant starts flowering, it usually won't continue to get larger and taller like when it was
bullshit.
vegetating.
Most bloom plants
You
are
won't
going to
see the-
stretch 18 to 24 inches. That's
when it's got heavy flower content and the
There ain't no
top
heavy
tips,
flower content. There's heavy.
She's saying it is. That's what she's saying. It's flowering. That's
No,
what
you're saying it.
That's why I'm asking her if the tops of the branches are like Q-tips.
Yeah.
Okay, because it's already that far into flower that now the top of the bud is forming, and it's probably not going to grow up as much as it did when you were vegging. That's all I was trying to fucking say.
All right.
Union time. That's all. Don't worry about it, girl. Keep grinding. Lower your light on the plant. Hook her up with some free shit. Heavy
No one said lower the light. We just said
It's
that
3 feet away.
as the growers in the room, let's help you out a little bit.
Right.
Don't hit me in the back of the head. What was that about? I thought we were friends. Bro, you got thick hair, but fuck you. My hair is thick on my back. Alicia likes it. You can comb it over, girl.
I did look on top of the light, and it does say the voltage is 285. So it says 1,000, but then it says 285. So
The voltage is up to 285 is the voltage you can plug it into. The total draw is what you want to look at. But nonetheless, Alicia, fuck that plant that's been growing since April. You should be having nugs to smoke and then improve your life. So fuck that plant. Get some real deal Holyfield. You know, get a CAD design, line it out, do it right. And seriously, even though Horty Chris is angry, he's right. He's in there telling Mark how to grow, and Mark's like, "Hey, don't talk to me anymore, Caron. I ain't so tired of hearing your voice." But it's okay. You need to check out Grow Time with Heavy T next Wednesday. I know. Listen. There's only so much you can do. You're already down the line as far as you can go. You can't go back and reset the clock. If you want to do so, you got to murk it. All right? And other than that, like I said, get the root zone growing again. That's your only hope. You're sticking your finger down in there. You're looking at it. Stop feeding it. I mean, I can imagine what you're dealing with at 2 feet after, what's that, 5 months? 5 months, there's probably a lot more issues than we can get to in Horty Chris's time. Okay. Alicia.
Yeah.
Get a new plant.
Well, I have 3 more growing right now, so.
Murk those two. They may have been talking with that one fucking Schnarf plant. Murk those. Become a member of the Duff Free Nation. Follow our boys over at Green Coast Hydro, over at Heavy T Grow Show, over at, where you at, Jiggity Jerome? You know what's good. And unfollow Horty Chris.
All right.
Don't be sad. You take this, your plan is your child, huh? That's how you do it. You're one of these people that are like, I got to work a weekend. I'm taking my plant with me in my car.
No, I'm not going.
I can hear you are.
Other reasons, I just planted those, and those are doing great. So
okay, leave those in. Leave those. Don't murk those. The ones, if they're not doing what you want, it's either you're gonna ride it out and see what happens, or you're gonna murk them. And if they're not doing what I want, I have no problem. Then this is the same with pruning and training, Dylan. Maybe you could talk to our girl Alicia here a little bit on the same thing. Is I've done consultations where I go in, I'm like, okay, this is how you prune. This is how you lollipop. And there's a fucking pile this high of plant debris next to me. Mm-hmm. And with every leaf I take off, the owner of the plant is like, yeah. Okay, you got to disconnect yourself from the plant as far as being a parent. You're not a parent. You are a farmer. You're going to cultivate that plant. You're going to grow it the best it can, but it's for a purpose. It is not so it can have other fucking kids down the line and you can call them your grandkids so you can smoke the shit out of it, right? It's like a tomato. It's like an ear of corn.
So I don't have a problem getting rid of it. My other one I did throw away, so.
All right.
I was just wondering if I could save it.
Well, after 5 months, there's not much. Jiggity Drum, do you have something you want to add to try and save? You could transplant it. Transplanting it as well will help the root zone grow, but I think if it's autoflower and stuff, there's no point in it. There's no. It just might be a Schwarfy. It probably got stressed out from the move.
Could be.
Okay.
Alicia, I'm going to send you a swag pack from Heavy T, including things from all of our sponsors, sweetheart. I know you stay up late to listen to us back east, and I really do appreciate you. You tell all your friends and family Heavy T's got you taken care of. And I don't mean to be rude or coarse about things, but it's probably the truth, Williams. These are your plans. They serve a purpose. They are not your family.
I'm not being rude. I mean, hell, I'm new at this, so I'll take any criticism, any advice you have to give me. That's why I call you. So. Okay.
Well, like I said, and it may not be you, but for the other listeners, you need to disconnect yourself on a personal level from your plants. Your plants need to be taken care of. You need to give it love, but it's a job. It's a crop. It's serving a purpose. Handle it, right? It's like motherfuckers that buy new shoes and then don't ever wear them out. Oh, these shoes gonna get dirty. What the fuck did you buy these new shoes? What the fuck are you talking about? You got the baller-ass basketball shoes, but you ain't gonna wear them to the gym? Oh, shit. Stand back. Damn. Out of control. Fucking stupid ass. You ain't baller because you want to. Not you, Alicia. I love you. But the guy with the shoes, Maximilian. This guy's been hanging for so long to talk to Dylan and Jerome. Tim.
Hey, what's going on?
I don't know, man. You've been on here since the beginning of the show. Shout out to Tim. Let's send him everything. One of everything. You got a free cat design for him?
I can help him out.
All right. No, I'm fucking with you. But Tim does have a question. Go ahead, Tim.
Yeah, I just got my little hobby plant. The first one just threw a seed down. It shot up pretty tall, and it started flowering. So I went to over to the store, Doritos Hydroponics, and swooped up some of that Botanicare.
Right.
The bloom. So now I've been doing that. It's like 2 weeks into flower. I got that, and it's been boosting now for like a week. I'm just wondering what's next.
Is boosting, Hans?
Yeah, I mean, for real, like at first it was just nothing. I thought it was just going to be all like scraggly. But after I threw this bloom, everything started puffing up pretty good. So
After you gave it some food, it was like, woo woo.
Yeah, definitely.
In the Botanicare line, they have a lot of amendments, a lot of different things that you can add to enhance different parts. At the very least, add the Hydroplex, the Heavyweight Blossom Stimulator. If you want a little extra flavor, use one of their sweet products. Sugar's not taken up in the plant the same way. We've talked about it a bunch, but it's basically in the tissue. So if you have a indica dominated, for most of the time you can use like a sweet berry, bring out the berry. If you have a sour dominated or an OG dominated, you can use the sour to enhance those flavors. You are literally putting sugar into the tissue as an enhancement, but how I equated it before, it's like taking a strawberry and dipping it in powdered sugar. Strawberry by itself is sweet. The sugar enhances it, right? And that's pretty much how the sugar interacts with it. But at the very least, Hydroplex. Got it? Damn, you waited that long for that?
Definitely.
What does Jerome think? Concur? All right.
Hey,
Yep.
I mean, my only other problem with it is it's being like attacked by a bunch of moths. So I'm just picking off like moth eggs.
Oh, you're taking off moth eggs?
Wow.
Motherfucker, you ain't got moth eggs. You got fucking bud rock.
Shit, hang some cedar blocks on that bitch.
Yeah, but Bacillus thuringiensis, caterpillar killer, squirt it. Squirt it. Those moths outdoors, oh my goodness, dog. You got moths. Those top nugs are going to be just fucking swag.
Actually, HB 101 has cedar cypress and plantain oil, so the cedar oil should deter the moths.
I ain't trying to deter. I'm trying to murk them. The Bacillus thuringiensis will murk them.
Caterpillar killer.
Yeah, for those people that don't like to kill, and they're just friendly people, like myself. You know what I mean? Like, you know, good vibes, man.
I saw your 8th grade note you wrote to your home teacher. Kill, die, kill, die, kill, die.
No, man. Peace, love, bro. I love Horty.
Peace, love, and rubbing nubs.
Tyler.
They were scissoring.
I like
They were
saying more,
scissoring.
but Dylan said I don't know.
Yeah, so caterpillar killer or spinosad. Spinosad has a neurological effect. If you overuse it, it can affect humans, even though it has to be in mega doses. And there has been some studies that show it's adverse to bee populations. So we like to stick to Bacillus thuringiensis. If you have caterpillar eggs, you don't need a deterrent. He has caterpillars. He needs to kill those fools.
Yeah.
And it kills worms. It kills all the worms, right? Other than that, you can get a couple birds, train them to come eat the caterpillars right off your plant.
Or if you got enough time with a bug zapper racket, you just
do
out
that
there
too.
24/7.
Can I get? I'm a falconeer. Can I have a little stage within my CAD design or my CAD for the falconeer station?
We can put a coop. Yeah, sure. Right on top.
Mike Tyson's an investor. He likes pigeons.
Dude, that Mike Tyson mystery show is funny as fuck. Yeah.
Shout out to Mike Tyson mystery show. Tim, check it out. So yeah, go get that, and then after that, flush, and you're good to grow.
Flush.
Wait, all right. Thanks.
All right, Tim. Hey, and I'm gonna send you one of the Botanicare swag packs. I'm also gonna send you a gallon of Turpinator, over a $70 value.
Yeah, use that.
And
too.
some smart pots, the only fabric pot we fuck with right here on Heavy T's Grow Show. My pen is running out of ink. Be sure to find new sponsors so we can get new pens. Thank you so much, Tim.
Thank you.
Smoke weed every night.
Every day.
I don't wake up during the day. I'm Horty. Horty ain't about the money. Ain't trying to wake up before 4:30 because I ain't about the money. Not sending this purchase order in because I ain't about the money. Oh, shit.
Get it.
Horty, are you growing? He's out there. He's so pissed. Did he leave?
In the window right there.
He's in the window?
He's in the window.
Little did you know that the whole country's with us, Dylan.
Very cool.
You're up in here. So what kind of weird shit have you seen growers come in that have actually worked? Like, because, you're logically thinking that's something as an engineer, and I've had engineer buddies. They go through university, they come through, and be like, "This ain't gonna work." I'm like, "Check this out. I got some fucking sheet metal shears. I got some duct tape, and if it don't work, that means I ain't using enough duct tape, right?" But I can imagine with all the rooms that you have designed, millions of square feet of design space
around there, yeah,
that there have been some aha moments.
Deepwater culture, a whole hell of a lot of it.
Oh,
you
yeah?
know, that's. I mean, that's on a commercial side. You know, I mean,
Are you like it's not that good, or it's actually
no,
legit?
it's great. It's a fast grower. I'm not dogging deepwater culture at all. You know, I support it if it works for you. But on a commercial scale, I've always been, you're always told one thing, and then when somebody comes at you with the opposite, it's hard to see it. I mean, to visualize it.
Right.
There's a lot of errors that could go wrong, like aeroponics and stuff like that. If your pump goes down,
water temps.
Yeah, water temps.
Cross contamination. Everything's connected. Oh shit.
But there's a lot of people out there that still, stick with that method, even on a commercial application.
So off the record, even though you're on the record right now on Heavy T's Grow Show, this is Dylan from Green Coast Hydroponics. Would you push a commercial cultivator away from recirculation, or try to bring them in?
Just
personal.
There's on a personal note, I would say not to recirculate. So once it passes through, there's, I think Netafim has a new product out that's supposed to decontaminate anything that if you're gonna recirculate for the day. Let's say you mix your batch for the day, you feed your plants, and it passes through, it drains out, it goes through this rectifier of some sorts, and kind of decontaminates any pathogens that might be in there, but still keeping the nutrient content as it is. And then you can recirculate for the day, and then once it's done through the plant, you can toss it after that.
I like it. I like it, dog.
It's kind of cool. I try to stay away from it, though. If one plant gets sick, they all get sick. That's the recirculation method, and your plants aren't going to always get the same amount of nutrients. You're going to try to top off, but the same, formula is not going to be the same.
What about a 4-lighter first-time grower coming in trying to set it up, right? And not what you would tell them. Give me your own personal experience, because I imagine you overthought the shit out of your first 4-lighter.
I did, yeah. I spent way over the top. I bought the top of the line for my first 4-lighter, and I did it in my apartment. With the right underneath the flight path of the LAPD in Hollywood, and it was an experience. Having to not look out your window every time a helicopter flies over, but
doing it and setting up right, overthinking on how to do it. You don't have to do that. You don't have to have Dylan with all your services and stuff that are available over at Green Coast Hydro. You don't have to necessarily come in and do that. You need to have viable information and correct information, like we give on the show, which you may get from a buddy, not necessarily, but you have to have people willing to work with you, which I think that you guys provide on a daily basis to everyone.
And we try to keep it as simple as possible. I mean, you can overcomplicate things and spend a lot of money and a lot on what you don't need, and it might look cool. You might be able to view everything from your phone or do all this.
Is that a little throw up in that bird?
No, not at all. Sorry. But you don't have to overcomplicate everything. It can be really simple running your garden. You don't have to have all.
What type of lights do you see popping off now? I know Gavita's double-ended. That's the standard in commercial. Have you seen an uptick in certain LEDs or CMHs? I know interplane plasma and CMHs for quality has become a bigger thing in the last couple of years for commercial growers. But still, on the commercial level, is anyone really using large-scale LEDs?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's the two...
With success.
With success. Pro Grow Tech, they're out there pretty big and a pretty big brand within the industry. They've got a lot of... A lot of cool things about their light, being able to adjust the spectrum, really versatile in what they do. They've got a good wet depth rating, so that you don't have to worry about if you spill anything on them. They're not going to short out and screw up everything. There's Fluence as well. That's
Right.
the other big name
There's
brand.
a lot of hype out there. Horticultural lighting groups got a lot of hype behind them. There, a lot of movement, but still. I mean, if I'm setting up a grow room, and maybe you could chime in a little bit because you use Black Dog LEDs or have used them.
Yeah.
But if you're going to set up a commercial aspect, 400 lights in a decent sized area,
Mhm.
I'm still going to set it up with double endeds. In my opinion, to get the most out of it and to lowest cost going in, most reward coming out.
Yeah.
No, I would only
what
at
I'm asking is your
480
opinion.
volt.
If I'm wrong or you got an alternative,
I
lay it on
mean,
me.
double endeds are definitely the biggest, most powerful light there, right on. The closest thing to the sun, other than the 1500 watt, the 2000 watt, lights that are out there.
The Sun Blaster.
Yeah, the huge ones where you have to have your plants, 6 feet below the light or so. That double ended technology is really great and is great for on a commercial aspect because you can keep your price for the light down low. You're not having to spend a whole hell of a lot on LEDs, but if you're going for efficiency and you're going to double stack or triple stack your bloom or go that route, there's a lot of other options.
Back to that amperage we were talking about.
Yeah, there's the LEDs. There's not a whole lot of lights out there. If we're talking about amperage, there's not a whole lot of lights out there that can run 480 volt. You have to kind of stick with a couple of name brands that you trust. We're not gonna give you a brand that we don't believe in. We're gonna have something that's tried and true and can work on that voltage from either personal experience or friends that
I've dealt with enough grow room build outs and designs that most general electricians don't get that either.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
They don't realize the voltage that the lights are available in.
Yeah.
And they think they're going to get them at this or that, and you have to tell them, listen, you're going to have to run 2/3 of the lights that you want it to run because you can only run up to this voltage. And this is how you have to. I'm not going to go wire it for you. I think that you probably have the knowledge, but their electrician should know how to wire it.
Yeah. And there's, you got to make sure that the building that you're in can support that. Not every building, even commercial buildings, have 480 volt power or 277. There's a lot of
jumper cables straight off the line, straight to my building. That's all good.
There's a lot of 20,000 square foot warehouses out there that are still run at 240 volt, and that's a lot of amperage.
It's antiquated. You're not getting the most out of it.
Yeah, you think you're gonna? Yeah, go on.
You go on, sucker. You're the one talking.
Yeah.
You were raising your hand over there, Jiggity.
Oh, this is wild.
What were the spiders saying? It was just fucking 2 seconds ago.
Well, no, I mean, as far as amperage and stuff is concerned, it's a lot of the different light companies that don't even offer 480 volt compatible will offer you. They're still same lighting, but they'll charge you an additional fee to get them at 480 volt.
It's usually custom made and
so
limited warranty, and there's a high failure rate. There is a high failure rate for guys that haven't been making it or know how to make it.
That's true as well.
Let's go talk and grow with the callers, because that's why we're here, to give free shit away. Justin?
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, guys.
Hi, dude.
I got a question about I'm having a problem with my plant support. Sorry.
Okay. Go ahead.
I got 6 plants outdoors in 100-gallon pots.
Bala. All right, where do you live?
Santa Monica area.
Okay, allegedly. So what's your question, though?
The problem is whenever I transplant, the tomato cages won't fit on them because they're too big already. So I need an alternative because I've had stems snap.
Well, yeah, but once they go into bloom and you start increasing the phosphorus, de-emphasizing nitrogen, increasing phosphorus, you'll notice the plant get more woody, and it'll snap rather than bend. That's why most training, everything is done early on, either late veg or early bloom, right? And, dude, if you can't fit a tomato cage on now, that means you need to get it on earlier when it's small enough and let it grow into it.
Well, dude, a stabilized trellis.
I have them in 5 gallons to start out with. Okay, they get to be like 4 feet tall, and you can't transplant it with the cage on it.
That's fine. Do you have are you doing these in ground or do you have a solid
like
patio they're on?
I have 100-gallon smart pots, organic soil.
Are they on top of like ground or are they on top of like a deck?
No, like I got some like concrete like
Okay.
cinder blocks.
Okay.
So they're on concrete, but it's on dirt essentially.
Yeah, under it is dirt.
His issue is training them.
What I would say is like at that point, a trellis is going to work great, but you want something that's going to be heavy duty with plants that big. You could always do something by driving posts into the ground, just like if you're building a fence. And at that point, you could use different type of industrial materials, whether it's chain link
You
fence.
can use the same trellis and build a big
trellis,
tomato
exactly.
cage.
You know, and the thing is once you transplant that plant, is stabilizing it at the height that it's in and creating layers that's going to stabilize it along the way of its growth as well. You don't need a tomato cage per se, but you do need something that's going to be able to stabilize that plant in any type of condition. So.
And if things are starting to flop over and you're like, I need to get this on, you need to take a large stake, not a little 3-foot bamboo from the hydro store, literally like a tomato stake from the hardware store, and drive it right down next to it and lash the main stalk to that. You're going to damage the root zone a little bit, but if the plant's healthy, it'll grow right through it and around it. And then you could actually line the outer perimeter of your 100-gallon and lash each large branch to bamboo after that. That is like a Band-Aid on a broken leg.
Well, if
but it's going to keep it from
route,
falling over and breaking, because as it gets heavier, I mean, it's tragic. You've grown this whole time in a 100-gallon smart pot,
what about doing
and
that
it
from
falls
the
over and
beginning,
breaks
Keith?
in half. What
Put
up?
your stake in at the beginning when you do your
Right,
transplant.
but
drive
right
that
now
big
even
stack.
I've driven stakes through older plants and late bloom that I needed to without recognizing that I should have supported them differently, and have been just fine. But you need to support the main stalk because everything hinges on that. You got to get that one main branch up and sturdy, and then worry about the rest.
Okay, I see. So like maybe like an EMT, like something like that, like stake it right next to it and tie the branch to it.
That's a little thick though.
A straight
conduit?
No. Well, you could, but a straight 1/4 inch, post stake.
Yeah.
That is an arrow on one side and a regular post. Go right down next to the stalk, straight up, so it mirrors the stalk, and lash it in some point. I would use soft tie. I wouldn't use conduit or something that cuts into the stalk. But if you have to, because it's that big, you have to support it. The main goal of this is not being fragile on the plant, right? It's called weed. It grows like a motherfucking weed. And they're women. So the meaner you are to them, the better they grow. You notice that? I went over to my plant. I was like, this bitch, you ain't gonna produce more weight. This bullshit. Fucking motherfucker using all this veg bloom on you. Shit. You know what it did? It died. But next time, I was much nicer. And I was like, girl, it's all good. I'm using this meals on it. And it's all good. And I produced nothing either. I don't even grow. I just do the show. I do cat designs now. Allegedly. What do you got to say, Justin Jerome?
Nothing.
All right, then. Justin, go do that. Support the motherfucker. Smoke weed every day. Sending you a lot of shit. Mission, the entire Mission Fertilizer line. What? Get your Mission Fertilizer on with the grow, the bloom, the enhance, the roots.
The sweets.
The sweeten.
Yeah. What
The
about
crazy swell.
Yeah.
It's so crazy. Oh, I got a cramp in my calf.
That's crazy.
I've been jogging too little. This is gold. This is the
California
best.
gold.
This is the best last show I've ever done. 562-653-0707. Unkimo will be rapping tonight at TGIF in Long Beach.
Hell yeah.
Mike from Central, what's going on?
Yo, what's cracking?
Just hating Horty Chris and shit. You there, dog? Don't hang up.
Hello.
Yes, come on.
You're on.
Hey, I had a question about LEDs and temperatures first, and then I'll get some other questions about the AC.
Okay.
You guys ever run them, and what temperatures you keep them at?
You want to help him out, Dylan? A little bit?
I mean, you're going to keep your temperatures around the same for what the
Whatever light source.
Yeah, whatever light source. I mean, you're going to keep your environment about the same. What LED are you trying to use?
Advanced 900, and then also have a Perfect Sun 1000. So they both cover like a 4x4 on a mover, and I read up on it and it said like 85 is ideal, 80 to 85 for LEDs. So I was just wondering on that.
Okay, ideal temperature for growing, 75 to 82 degrees, I would say. 85 is fine, but you need to have the plant in a consistent temperature continuously. As you get higher temperatures, the respiratory system of the plant starts constricting, can't take up as much CO2. Well, check it out. My man Dylan just designed me a grow room where I put in CO2, and I spent all this money, and now I'm running my shit too hot.
Yeah.
Right? Why would I do that? I need to make sure that the stomata is completely open to take in that CO2, and I'm sure that you would design it with enough BTU or airflow that we would be within a range. If your grow room is peaking or pinned at like 85 degrees with your lights and you are fully cooling, fully airflowing with everything you already have, it's too hot.
Yeah, it's way too hot.
You need to be able to take it to whatever degree that you want it. If you want to take it to 75 and you can't, that's a problem. That means that I'm not in control anymore.
No, I can. That was the question I was getting to. Is I have the portable AC outside the tent, the 8x4.
Word.
Exhausting out the window, and I can keep it at 80 in there. But I have it just blowing into a tent with a 6-inch fan, always sucking air, and then blowing the cool air through the top and hitting another fan and blowing it on the plant.
So you want to use a different light, thinking you're going to reduce the wattage, reduce the heat. Is that right? You're talking about LED and stuff?
Yeah.
So you think if you go to LED or reduce the wattage or whatever it says on LED, that you're going to actually have cooler temps? Is that the idea, or am I missing the point?
No. I just wanted to know what you guys recommended for. I can get the temp whatever I want.
Okay, so check this out. What wattage do you have right now?
I got it on half power. It's a 550 watt, so 250 watts roughly.
And it's LED?
Yeah.
And what's your idea of what you want to do?
I wanted to know your guys' temp wise, because I ran it before
the
at
same
85.
The same temp wise for sure. Okay, use 75 to 82 degrees. If you got to go up a little bit for different aspects. I mean, during veg, I run my temperatures a little bit more. A little bit higher. Get that VPD up like Jiggity Drum loves.
Well, one important thing to think about is when you dim your lights, a lot of the time you're doing it because of heat constraints. So getting something to utilize like a light meter that's able to utilize what your plants are able to absorb, you can get lights that are lower wattages closer to the plant to replicate a higher par level or a higher light reading. So being able to control the temperature is ideal, but the thing is it doesn't change. Like they're saying, is the plants at optimum, the temperatures and humidity is not going to change. It's all about the radiant heat and the temperature at the actual surface of the canopy or the plants itself. So it doesn't matter the light level. For instance, I bought a fucking LED light at Home Depot.
Here comes Horty Mark.
And I took my par meter and I just held it up to it, and it read over 2,000 micromoles. Does that mean it's better than 1,000 watt Kavita? No. So at the end of the day, you got to realize, with the LEDs, the advantage of that is taking away the radiant heat to the canopy. So you have to adjust different parameters to get, optimal achievements, meaning the LEDs don't spread light like a normal reflector would. It's only going to give direct light directly below or whatever's in front of it.
And there's big difference between LEDs designed for horticultural use and LEDs that you may find in a panel that you get off Amazon for $96.
No,
and
totally.
back to it.
I got a one. I do have it on a light mover. So it does.
Right,
and hooking up the space real nice on light. I just was reading up temperatures. They wanted like 80, 85, and I want to know if you guys recommended that, so that way I know where to set it at tonight.
You speed up transpiration rates, but or with lights off, and speed up the uptake of the water, but you actually slow down the intrinsic cycles by limiting CO2 uptake. So how do you overcome that? You add more CO2 in the room, So the things that are constricting, hey, we have a larger abundance of CO2 available around the stomata. So I can run higher temperatures. But let's use that same logic and say if the stomata wasn't constricted at all, and I had those more abundant levels of CO2 around a less constricted stomata, wouldn't it be better?
But he's blowing it out the window, though.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I didn't even listen, Dylan. Thank you for listening. Shout out to Dylan from Green Coast Hydro for being part of the show. This motherfucker, listen. Hey, Mike, can you imagine that I've sat here for 3.5 hours and I really don't remember anything?
Sipping and smoking, man. That's what's up.
I know, dog. This shit is a bomb. It's a
That
grow
means you
up.
had a good night. All right, so I see people like they only have the lights on low, right? Do you guys recommend just turning the light up to 1,000 during bed?
Yeah,
You know, if
motherfucker,
they're,
get all your
what's up?
light. You need to turn that shit up high as shit. If you need 1,000 watt on a clone dome, right, Dylan? That's what Dylan
Not quite,
recommends.
no.
In his
No.
CAD design, that's what he recommends.
As much as the plant can take, that's all.
Yeah, like as long as the leaves aren't crawling down away from the light, you're good to go. As long as they're praying, right?
Give it as much as it needs. If the plant is stressed out, you need to dim your light down. That's one way to overcome certain stresses where you get to reacclimate it to what you need to do.
All right, I'm on the right path.
But
That was,
ideally, if I buy 1,000 watt, I want it cranked up all the way, especially during bloom.
Yeah, more light.
Oh yeah, for sure during bloom. But I would have been like at the early stages. You know, you don't have to have it on. You know,
No.
I got them like a 2 foot tall in the trellis right now. You know, I wasn't gonna hit that bloom switch until
And if anything goes wrong as well, like if you think that you overwatered them where they look a little sad, if something went sideways, to
Turn
slow
that light
things,
down.
yeah, to slow things down and get your feet under you, kind of realize what's going on, turn it down. At the same
Oh, yeah.
time, when you reduce that light output, you're going to reduce your watering, how often you do it.
Yeah.
You're
Right.
going to just slow everything down, and that's a great way to understand what's going on and what you're doing to get the health of the plant back to where you want to be, where you
I know
want
what
it to
you did.
be. Right?
good
So,
stuff, man.
all
Well, I
right.
called.
You know what, Mike? Smoke weed every day. We're sending you all kinds of shit, including a signed Jiggity Jerome face shot of his favorite grow-off plant. Right, Jiggity? We're going to send a Jiggity Jerome Elect Penny, Horty Penny, out to you. Mike, smoke weed every day. Get your CAD design from
Hey.
Green Coast Hydro. What else you got to say, Mike?
Is there not gonna have a pH pin in there? Because my shit just took a shit last night.
Oh, no, you ain't getting a pH pin, sucker. There's a grand prize giveaway.
not-
You better tune
not
in for
pH,
5
sorry,
seconds
not
of your
pH.
life. We're going to weigh ourselves. Check this out. How much does heavy tea weigh? Marcos Boyos, bring me the scale. Horty stole it?
They're both gone. though.
Where's the fat scale? Fat scale that we brought.
The scale.
Ain't gonna work with 2 people, dog.
The scale, Holmes.
The thing that put my fat ass on. The shit we brought from my
scale.
house. It said Weight Watchers on it because my wife failed at that too. Allegedly.
3 fat people worried about.
Oh, here we go.
He finally realized it.
Did Horty take off?
No.
Yeah, he better get his fat ass in here. Horty, get your fat ass in here.
Yeah, Horty.
All right, I'm going to go on here first. Dylan, since you're all engineer and cannot tell a lie,
Sure.
you come tell me how much I weigh. Hold on, let me take my wallet out. That shit's heavy.
You should have weighed before you drank 10 beers.
I was gonna say, dude, this is pretty bad.
I need to before the show and after show weight.
This is the line. It says I'm 236 pounds.
Yeah.
What'd
It
you
says I'm
guess?
236. I'm 301. We need to get a hard service. Hold on, Dylan. Come over here.
That shit
Jerome, can you be
fake.
fucking fascinated for 5 seconds? God damn it.
Take your fucking Jenny Craig scale back home.
Get it, Craig. Where was it?
Did you order that on Oprah Network?
Fucking mama open number. Oh, 305. I was out by 4 pounds.
305. So you gained 4 pounds. Yep.
Oh fuck.
That's all beer.
Yeah, it's all beer.
All beer.
It can be contributed to my extra large prostate. All right. Jiggity
next?
Drum said he was at 242 pounds. Dylan, you got to get over here. Here comes Jiggity Drum. Get on over to the.
Go weigh yourself.
Get on over there, Jiggity.
Dude, I'm not weighing myself.
Wait, you
dude.
weigh your motherfucking
what?
self. What are you, a fucking woman?
Yeah.
Get your fucking bitch ass over there. You said you would.
No, actually, I'm not weighing myself till September 1st.
That's mighty white of you. You don't have to look at it. Dylan will. Could plug your
Close
ears.
your
You
eyes.
won't even know. Get your fucking chunky Mr. Potato ass over there. All right?
And what if I don't?
then you're out.
Exactly.
We've been doing this. We said we gotta do this. You say you were gonna do it.
Man, motherfucker, you wait 2 weeks so we can fucking fatten up. I've been smoking all kinds of meat.
It's all good. I'm 4 pounds over what I said. Just come on.
No, here's the thing. I was supposed to start a diet plan on September 1st, so I've been fucking eating like crazy.
Oh
the
my
last 2
God.
weeks, thinking like, dude, this is my last time.
But what are you gonna do about all the sand in your vagina? You gotta clean that out somehow. Get on the goddamn scale.
I love
fucking
this.
goddamn fucking puto grande.
Hey,
This cuño. Hey,
your scale.
cuño. Hold on.
your couch.
I'm squishing your head. I'm squishing, crushing your head. Where the fuck is the other triple chin motherfucker?
Yeah,
Did
why
he
don't you
leave?
Just weigh the two of you and subtract the difference. That's me.
You know what? Okay. I'm the only real motherfucker up in this joint. Everyone tries to be real.
Y'all scary.
Yeah, it's not like your Pickle Rick shirt is extra fucking heavy.
No, it's getting tighter.
You know what? I'm going to get these guys on the scale. We'll come back. We got the grand prize. Hey,
BRB.
I want to give a shout out, though, to Dylan. Dylan, hold on. Give me a second. Segundo, amigo. My Espanol as an extra 5 libres.
He
As a
speaks
libros.
full Spanish.
No, I don't.
Sí.
No, I
Usted puede hablar español?
I have no idea what you're
Mira, mi lengua es más fuerte
¿Sí?
de pinche cuño que
¿Sí?
hasta allá.
¿Sí?
Sí. La cerveza de mío es en el estómago de la panocha.
¿Sí?
Sí, sí, es
Sí.
verdad.
Sí, no.
El barba es de el cuño. La cuño. El cuño.
Heavy tea, chupar más vodka.
Verga. Su madre chupar mi verga en 605, pinche puto.
Is
No.
He does it, he said.
Neither one of you motherfuckers
You
is
guys
gonna
are
do it.
opting out.
Dylan,
I'll do it first.
you need
You want me to get on?
Yeah, Dylan will. Dylan's got. Go ahead, Dylan. Well, what does Dylan weigh? Let's make sure it's accurate. Dylan probably knows how much he weighs because he's an engineer. He probably does this every morning. And he's got Doc Martens on. You got to tap it. Tap it with your foot. Tap, tap.
It's just a fucking
Tap it in the middle first. There you go. Just tap.
It's hiding.
It says 0? Yep. All right. Don't break it. Is that accurate? Accurate enough. All right. Now get Triple Chin Horty in here and Mr. Potato Head.
Yeah, it's accurate.
With the
No
shoes,
one's going to do it.
7 pounds of shoes. That's
Alright, go
what it is.
first. You have flip flops. It's easy to pick your.
We did the whole thing. You said you were 242. You say you probably are within that realm. I wouldn't think that you're much more or less.
We brought it. Hey, come on, let's do it. Come on.
You're losing all integrity with your audience. These are your peeps that are gonna come through
I
and be
just
like,
love Mark's reaction right now that I'm not.
no one's trying to beg you to do this.
You guys are scared of a
He's
scale?
the only person that gives a
Dude,
fuck. right
is
now.
this like Dr. Duff? That is like, I'm not your monkey. I'm not your monkey. I got on it. My titties are fat. I weigh more than all of you. I'm
Look,
not embarrassed.
All this ass is real, dog. It's not implants.
All right, let's see it.
No trust.
Get on there. Come on, just get on. Get on. We'll even compensate that you haven't fucked in a while.
Jesus
The extra
Christ.
sperm. Get in there. Where the fuck is the other triple chin guy that I fucking hate?
I don't
All right,
have
we're coming
even
back.
2 chins.
We're gonna
Come on.
figure this out. Yeah, you got a bunch of spiders on your face. Heavy T's Grow Show, DMC Radio, Heavy. What is it? The Heavy Grand Prize. Shout out to my man Dylan at Green Coast Hydro. Get that CAD going on. Computer assisted design, making your reservoir stand up straight and your fucking water flow to your plants. Pots. It's not pantalones like I thought it was. That's pantalones. Oh, hey, here comes Horty Chris. Horty Chris, get on. He took off his shoes.
Oh, he's on there.
Here we go. His weight was 285 claim. Take your hand off the wall.
Yeah.
Off my motherfucking 14 pounds! Oh my God, you fat motherfucker!
I weighed 292 this morning.
Oh my God, you're 3 inches shorter than me, man. I'm skinnier than Horty. Woo! I pray to baby Jesus every day. I wake up skinnier than Horty, and I just did. Calculate for the lost hair and everything. I'm fucking skinny. I'm buff and I'm hot. Send all your dame sus niñas. Send me your daughters. All right. The last one. Come on. Come on. It's a blind test. We won't announce it. We'll just say how far everything was off.
I gotta piss.
Okay, well go piss and then come on. We'll do it after the break. Heavy T's Grow Show, DFCRadio.com. He's gonna go be bulimic and vomit. Do what he gotta do. Clean the sand out.
You cook high sometimes?
Every day. All day.
Smoke weed every day.
I see it for a lot more as a nutritional factor for myself. My body sees it as like a vitamin. So I eat it and
Vitamin
everything.
THC.
I make like shakes and everything. Like I don't even eat food a lot of the time.
And the best dro to smoke. The baddest bitches, girls in bikinis.
268, jiggity! God damn! You ain't even got shoes on. You ain't even got underwear on. Go piss. We'll find out. 268. Preliminary result.
This life is like a movie. You meet a model bitch, then you fuck her like a groove. So don't be amazed. Same nigga, same flow, same mind frame. I'm all about the Gucci. Fuck minimum wage, cruising through these Cali streets, smoking on this OG. Cash rules everything around me, I need more cream. West Coast, get it in. What the fuck you think? Saying I'm riding with you, really though, this money in the bank. E3 hotter than the California forecast. Burning up these tracks, nigga, I need more cash. Yeah, I'm a bona fide hustler. Fuck with my family or cash and I'ma cut ya. Real G's get it, that's only the obvious. Go against us, you know you facing the consequence. I love my state, but I really hate the politics. Better keep stepping, buddy boy, in the pile of shit. Yeah, in a pile of shit. E3, get it in, nigga, I'm live as shit. 3, 2, 1. Just me and Mary J. As the world keeps spinning, like gold 100 spokes, engine running, Chevy gunning down the coast. Just let it roll. Who doesn't love to see a 6-4 hop down the block, banging Easy E and Pac? Motherfuck the cops. I drove in my ride, but I ain't even tripping. It's another summer night and about to get the dipping. It's California A, got some beautiful women. Gotta see it for yourself, it's such a beautiful vision. Palm trees, palm weed, won't you ride with me? West Coast in, floating through these Cali streets. Cruising down the boulevard in the late night. Sunset to the daylight, we take flight. Lights, camera, action, fast cars and jewelry. Models and groupies, we film in a movie. It's a motion picture, everybody's a celebrity. Won't you take a picture? It's a motion picture, everybody's a celebrity. Won't you take a picture? Latin girls, Asians, black girls. girls, Jamaicans, white girls, they all on vacation. Pop another bottle, yeah, we buy 'em by the case, and we spitting big faces. California, 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 yeah, Cali everywhere. California, California,
Hey, what's up? Shout out to my man, DJ Saint, my brother.
Okay, got your ballast check, reflectors check, fans check, just about ready to get growing. The last thing you need is your bulbs.
Let me get like 12 of, whatever's the cheapest you got.
Bro, really? You're using the best soils, best nutrients, best equipment, and you're going to use an Econo brand lamp? If you really want the best of the best, you need to go with the Ushio Hilux Grow Lamp. Ushio Hilux Grow Lamps have the highest quality and consistency in their construction, and they're engineered to give your plants the light spectrum they need for the best growth and biggest harvest. Plus, Ushio is the only company that offers 2100 micromole light output without needing to overdrive your lamps and ballast. That means more light for your plants and longer light for your lamps.
Wow, I had no idea. Okay, sold. Give me the Ushio Hilux Grow Lamps.
Professional growers know not every lamp will give plants what they need to optimize their growth and yields and maximize profits. That's why the pros choose Ushio Hilux Grow Lamps. Offered in a full range of high-pressure sodium, metal halide, and ceramic metal halide options, Ushio Hilux Grow Lamps ensure that your plants are covered from seed to harvest no matter what lighting system you're using. For over 50 years, Ushio has been a trusted name and a leader in specialty lighting, and they stand by their name with a no questions asked 1-year warranty. So whether you run 5 lights or 500, you can be confident that you're buying the best horticulture lamps on the market. Ask for Ushio Hilux Grow Lamps and make sure to check them out online at www.ushio.com.
You are listening to Heavy T's Grow Show on DFZ Radio Network.
What is? Hey, are you a soil grower and tired of using salt and synthetic-based fertilizers and not getting the results that you wanted? Well, for hydroponics, those products work great. But in soil, they suck. All those feeding schedules are out of range for what we think is good for soil growers. Mission Fertilizer is a new product on the market that's specific to soil gardening. They have a grow, bloom, and boost. It's a super premium organic 1 part grow, 1 part bloom, and 1 part boost. It's a feeding program that can be used in bagged soils like Ocean Forest and Happy Frog, Victory Mix, or Empire Builder, even Roots Organic, Royal Gold, and so forth. It can be used in any soil mix. Super simple to use, 1 part grow, 1 part bloom, and 1 part boost to get the most out of your garden. It's organic listed, pH stable, and safe to use with tap water. No need to ppm or EC or pH your tap water if you're mixing in Mission Fertilizer liquid. Go to missionfertilizer.com, grow the best, and see the proof is in the plants.
Heavy T hooked me up, man. Thanks.
That's right.
Hey, bro, your garden's looking sweet, man. What are you using?
Yeah, man, I'm using a premium cocoa nutrient, Cocoa Tech A and B, man. It's an aggressive formula for increased yield during the flowering phase.
Wow, so this is made specially for cocoa?
You better believe it, man. It comes with easy-to-use 2-part formula. Formulated aggressive growth and superior blooms.
Whoa, bro.
Yeah, man. Tell 'em, Bob.
This aggressive formula contains proprietary blends of calcium to ensure your plants thrive. Backed by years of research, Cocoa Tech Premium Cocoa Nutrients are specifically designed to support and enhance your cocoa core growing experience. Use Cocoa Tech Premium Nutrients with Cocoa Tech Premium Cocoa Core for optimum results.
Yeah, man. That was awesome. So you're big time, huh?
Yeah, kinda.
Not getting good results from those compost CO2 makers? Dude, your mushroom bag just ate 3 of my plants. Introducing the GreenPad CO2 generator. The simple, economical, and effective way to add CO2 to your indoor garden. Just hang, spray, and walk away. It's that easy. Since I ditched my old mushroom bags and switched to the GreenPad CO2 generator, I couldn't be happier. I just hang, spray, and walk away. It's really that easy. I don't have to worry about any runaway spores contaminating my room or wondering if it's actually working. I just listen to the gentle sound the GreenPads make when they're wet, and I know it's working. Thanks, GreenPads! More effective than those organic CO2 bags, the GreenPad CO2 generator will help increase the CO2 level in your indoor garden safely and easily. Just find a spot high in your garden, hang the pad with the specially designed hangers, spray the GreenPad with water, and that's it. Just hang, spray, and walk away. Adding CO2 to your indoor garden has never been easier. The GreenPad CO2 generator, available at finer hydroponic shops or online at thegreenpadstore.com. That's thegreenpadstore.com.
You are listening to the Heavy Tea Grow Show. Call in right now, 562-653-0707, for your chance to talk to Heavy Tea, Horty Chris, or Dr. Duffman. Killing it.
I tell you, this is the life.
Ever since we started working here at Sanctuary Soil, I couldn't be happier. It's nice to work at a place where they treat you like the artist that you are.
Tell me about it. So many places just throw you in the dirt, feed you junk, and drip water on your head.
Yeah, sounds more like torture than a job.
And how do they expect you to do great things when they don't give you the right tools? I can't do it if you treat me like garbage.
I hear ya. You give me the highest quality organic materials like woody biomass and grasses, put me in a healthy, clean environment, and I can practically poop gold.
Not to mention alfalfa meal, arborist material. They even bathe us in a healthy biological tea full of enzymes and other good stuff. You know, I get a little choked up just thinking about how all those customers are gonna benefit from the hard work we put into providing them with the best products available.
I just wish more companies were like Sanctuary Soil. It's nice to work with people who care about their customers and care about the environment.
Yeah, this is the life. Hey, I'm pretty full. Think it's about time to go make some magic, if you know what I mean.
Well, a worm's work is never done.
See you in a few.
You got anything to read? This could take a while.
Sanctuary Soil's Buckaroo brand premium worm casting, the all-in-one soil amendment that's safe for the environment, children, and pets. For more information and to see a list of current retailers, visit our site at sanctuarysoil.com.
DFCRadio.com.
Today I am hoping that I bring my love for food.
I'm a bad motherfucker.
Oh! We got the bad moves down the street. All my flavors, a VIP. I could be the only man to blow your mind. A different kind of different girl. I'm one of a kind. So if you a bad bitch, get on the floor. I got the magic, that's for sure. And I just got paid, girl. Blow it all tonight, yeah. The night is young, honey. You just my type. Satisfy me. I got paper blowing all around me. I'm a hungry man, girl. Eat it all tonight. The night is young, bitch, and it's supper time. So if you a bad bitch, get on the floor. Get out on the floor. I got the magic down below. You know I got it. And I just got paid, girl. Blow it all tonight, yeah. I'll play you something funky, girl, 'cause you're just my type. wanna take my time, girl, yes I can. I'm a bad motherfucker, honey, yes I am. I'm a bad motherfucker. I'm a bad motherfucker. I'm a bad motherfucker, honey, yes I am. I'm a bad motherfucker, honey, yes I am. I'm a bad mother, I'm a bad mother, I'm a bad motherfucker, honey, yes I am.
Bring it up. What up? Whoa, what's this? Horty Chris weighing in at a cool 317.777777 kilograms. How much is that? 600 pounds? And was it just his cock? Could we equate for his cock in that? No, but what did Jerome come in at? Seriously.
That means we're going to be fucked anyways, because between the two of you, I don't weigh 230 something, so we're fucked.
No,
that means we all fucking
We're
lied.
just trying to get real.
You know that, right?
And I
you know we all fucking lied then.
I admit it. I got on the scale and I said I was off by 4.5 pounds.
I didn't lie.
You motherfuckers.
This guy was off by 14 pounds.
But hold
How
on.
much
You guys would have to make me weigh like 226
285
right
when I woke
now.
up.
Go fuck off.
Tonight, after
He
drinking
was throwing
14
up in the
beers,
bathroom.
eating twice today, all that bullshit, I weigh 299. I'll take my weight in the morning to show you that it'll probably be 292 like it was this morning when I woke up. But I didn't say 241 and pop it at 268
And then
standing on
refuse-
one foot and then refuse to do the challenge because I have a fucking some kind of insecurity about it and my
Whatever
panties
fake
are fucking
news,
got
Trump
sand in them.
motherfucker.
Oh, right on. Okay, I don't know what Trump has to do with you can't stand on the scale and be a man about how much you weigh. It's not like we all look skinnier than we really are. And who cares if
You're just
242?
mad about
Ain't no one trying to fuck you
268?
here.
Yeah.
Ain't no one trying to fuck you online either.
Giggity, giggity.
But maybe they
Giggity,
are. I
giggity.
don't know. Who's listening? I'm not your monkey heavy T. Fuck you, Jiggity Drum. I'm gonna find myself a monkey. Dylan.
Yes.
You
what
fired
are your
him.
What are your monkey skills?
What do you mean?
I mean, you gonna do what I say?
Maybe not
That was
quite.
just Dr. Duff.
Dr. Duff. Once we had the throw up video of him, all the fireball shots. His wife
Canned
made him
Jack's
tell me,
Hard Lemonade.
"I'm not your monkey heavy T." And I was like, "Well, you're unemployed." And now he's at some volunteer cross-country football, otherwise known as soccer game, for 8-year-old women. Not even women, little girls. Where Jiggity Drum might be if he doesn't get on the scale really fucking quick like. Okay, it's okay, Jerome. We had a preliminary. He got on there, and someone spied a 268, so that's off by 16 pounds. He said it was 242.
That'd be
I was off by
26
4.6
pounds. That'd be
pounds.
26 pounds he's off.
I
242 to 268 is 26 pounds.
see Long Beach Public
I
School
never
System.
even stepped on the scale, so you guys make up your fake news.
Now you're trying to say you didn't step
Fake
on the
news.
scale. Fake news.
10 feet
Breaking
away from you,
news.
there is a Weight Watcher scale that has been calibrated by Dylan, CAD designer from Green Coast.
From NASA.
He confirmed that is very accurate.
Dude, I've drank a
Okay, it's okay.
fluid ounce weight of at least 12 pounds. So
Me too.
So this is not fair.
That means I drank 7 pounds of beer. That's good.
All right,
About a
Judge
gallon,
Mathis.
almost.
Well, even at that, I'd be
It's
at,
okay.
what,
It's okay.
250?
At the bottom,
I'm within 10 pounds
No,
of my weight?
268 to would you be at
With
261?
your fake
Mr.
About
Awesome has
19
something
pounds.
to say. Mr. Awesome.
Why won't this guy just get on the scale, man?
Because he's fucking soft on that.
I don't know.
It pisses already off.
His name's
I love
Jiggity Becky.
I'm saying he's confident. I just want to see if it's real, man.
He's obviously not confident because he's worried about his weight.
He actually sent Mark out to get some laxatives.
Horty's like, the only reason I stepped on that scale is because you won't, so it's even
Right.
better.
Yeah, because it's not. I don't care, but now that I'm not scared though.
How
about that?
It does kind of make him more legit than you. I'm just saying.
I don't know, man.
It's the first time he's legit.
I know.
Talk, man.
I didn't want it to happen.
Right?
I didn't ask Horty to be
I'm
legit.
not saying I won't
You're
deny
making
it.
Horty legit.
This is just great.
He just doesn't want you to
entertainment.
know that he's 26 pounds.
You're pissed
over
off
what
like
he
a
said.
teenager. And
The
so
last
is he
8
right
years
now.
of my life is to show that Horty is illegitimate And you just legitimized them in the last 10 minutes.
Damn.
This has been my whole existence.
You should have switched to Geico 7 years
Shut
ago.
up!
I mean, man.
Tell us how
all
the
I'm saying
Pittsburgh
is
Steelers fans in Virginia and
you
Texas
gotta
and
get
California are
on
doing.
that scale, man, because you tell us that you hit these big numbers and stuff, and I don't even think
Oh.
you deal with scales, no?
Oh, this is true.
Oh,
Oh, my
What's
God.
going on, man? You got to prove
Just
it
hit
right,
the
man.
scales.
Like,
We
what's
even
going
let
on?
you
gotta
pee. You said, I got to pee. Okay, we'll go drop 12 ounces and get back on there, 268.
Yeah, man.
242.
Hey, Jeopardy.
Oh, this is great.
You want to
Like,
bring it in
way
here
back
on the soft
down,
floor?
man.
It takes like 10 pounds, though. It's not going to happen.
Oh, man.
It's not going to happen.
You refuse to get on that scale for real, man?
Nope.
Like, what's the
You got to fly out here. Come hang out in the studio. I'll do it.
He's not that far away, Mr. Awesome. How quick can you be here?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. About 20 minutes.
Oh, shit. Well, hey, we can extend the show. We've done it before. Hey, you should have Mr. Awesome come on down. Hey, Mark, let Mr. Awesome know the address. Yeah, Jerome said if he comes over, he'll get on the scale.
I just don't see the big deal if you divulged it on yourself of saying how big you were. And we were all
here's the issue. I
You
was
don't wanna be
actually
embarrassed.
planning on going on a diet on September 1st. I won't go into
What's
those
that got to do
reasons.
with
Yeah,
your
no
weight?
one here is trying to
Well,
fuck
no.
you.
For
only
the
reason to be
past 2
skinny
weeks,
or
I've
have
been
thick
eating
hair is
as
the
fat
fuck,
as
and I'd
I
be fucking.
can.
Me too.
Fuck you guys. I've been trying to
Nobody
eat as
thinks
fat as
that-
I can. I smoked fucking
right.
ribs with fucking weed.
You should eat ribs instead of
Hold on.
smoke 'em.
So listen, with that logic, you're trying to get as fat as you can. So be as proud as fat as
Right.
you are, and tell us.
Be like a sumo wrestler. I
Can you
gained
just be
26
proud for
pounds
5
in 2
seconds?
weeks.
Own who you are, man. You ain't got to be no one else. No one's judge
It
you.
just feel good. The only time you can talk shit on me.
It's not the only time.
I mean, this is a grow show, so you can't talk.
I'm not
shit
talking
on
shit
grow.
on you. I'm just saying you should
About-
do like everyone
What are you
else.
saying, 285?
You're making it so
285?
easy, though.
It doesn't
He was
matter.
268 when I saw.
Yeah, Horty saw nothing. So.
Okay. It doesn't matter. No one here is trying to fuck you. You got a beautiful young lady that loves you.
It doesn't
Like-
matter.
and, like, I'm bald.
Even
I call
at
myself heavy
268,
T.
I'm like 35 pounds under you, motherfucker. So what it is?
Yeah, I mean, in a foot shorter, but hey, that's
But
cool.
are you really 268?
Yeah, at least.
now.
All right, let's check it out. Let's go.
285.
Let's go.
He ain't 285.
Give us the Rocky music.
Aaron, just
It's on there.
the show can't go on that long.
Hey, you're driving right now, right, Mr. Awesome?
Yeah.
All right, get in the G ride. Get in the G ride.
Then I'm going to get on that scale.
Follow the smell of French fries right to Jerome's asshole. Because he
Oh
eats
my
so many
God.
French fries, he can't even fuck. This dude smells like deep fried fucking canola MCT fucking Chef Mike shit. Right? Can you CAD design his butthole?
I don't want to.
Tell his girlfriend to get on the scale first.
His girlfriend is a very petite, lovely young lady that I would
Absolutely.
never talk shit about.
Yep.
And I'm not talking shit about anyone. I'm just asking. We said we were going to do this, and you said it's good. Here we go. Get up.
I'm saying if he does
Pump
first,
it.
maybe he'll do it.
Turn it up. Get on there. Come on, get pumped. You can wear off all kind of calories walking over the scale. Faster your feet move, the more calories.
Strip down to your thong. I mean, clothes weigh a little bit. Go for
If
it.
we could raise a $420 donation right
All right, I got that
Oh, God.
right in my pocket.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I'll pay half, Heavy T.
Yep, okay,
Get on
there
the
we
scale.
go. 420 donated. Let's go.
I want to see the cash.
Motherfucker.
Dude, we just said it on air. We got integrity.
Here we go. Marcos Poyos
Mark,
holding it up.
Yeah,
That's-
thanks,
that's
Marco.
$4.
Because you know Bill G's never carried their own cash.
Not 42 cents, Mark.
Don't you got my $500? Just use that.
Oh, man.
Pump it up. Come on, Rocky.
285, give or take.
Hey, maybe we should just lay off. This is how people become mass shooters, you know? Like,
I know.
let's just move on. So 268
you are
plus
from the Seal Beach
299
area,
plus
so-
305.
All right, Mr. Awesome. You know what? We tried with our darndest to get him over on the skizzy. But, you know, he just refuses because he won't be constrained by these numbers. Can you still see your toes? Yes? or no?
When his girl's
I
humping
can.
him.
I can. I can still see my dick though, so am I.
You can.
Motherfucker, I'll show you my dick right now. You see it, I'll see it. We'll all see it.
This is terrible.
And
Dude,
before
if
you
he
know,
won't
I'll
step on
put
the-
out of here.
Listen,
right now.
If he won't step on the scales, he won't whip his dick out around us. I guarantee you that.
I'll put my T Bossa right now on the fucking scale, and it'll weigh more than 248. All right, you don't want to see that. Mark's yelling, "Hell yeah, though he did," because he's seen it. He's
Mark
been
said,
up at the
"Hell yeah."
farm.
Man, this guy
and
dropped the ball.
Yeah, he did. He dropped the ball.
Totally did.
It's all right. Make sure not to tune into the grow off.
Oh,
Yeah, fuck those guys.
I'm just
All right, let's
gonna
do a
grow
grand
Brendan
prize
genetics
question.
better than he can.
Let's do a grand prize question. Something that is, I don't know. That is a question.
What's the name of Chef Mike's new show on Netflix?
On Netflix. The new chef show on Netflix, 562-653-0707. You get a combo meter from Blue Lab, a full line emission fertilizer, a gallon of Turpinator, a 1,000-watt double-ended Nanolux Max Power bulb,
Awesome.
some smart pots, some Botani Care. Sorry, I just lost 5 pounds. And let's do this. Big shout out to bulimia and
anorexia,
and laxatives. And, you know, I don't know, Jerome, I feel like we may have touched a little bit of a nerve.
Oh, no.
So we know exactly where to go every week from now on. Where you could just squash it right now.
Never let 'em see you sweat.
But now this shit is just riding in my
the only
ride.
way to get a rise out of you guys. I love it.
I'm not rising.
Yeah, bullshit.
Show me your titties, I might rise.
You got a boner in your pants to see me on
Dylan
the
from
scale,
Green
motherfucker.
Coast Commercial. Get a hold of them at any of the Green Coast locations. They're doing CAD, computer assistant design.
Yes.
That's what's up. You want to know how to grow right? You want to know how to grow strong? Get with Dylan and Green Coast Hydro. Big shout out, man. I appreciate
Thank
you
you
coming
very much
in.
for having me on. Thank you.
And next time you bring some good weed.
Absolutely.
All right. You want to grow good weed? Talk to Jerome. Allegedly, his prostate is swollen, and I'm heavy T, and you be knowing. DFZRadio.com. Bars!
With the gang, let your nuts hang. Don't fuck with the gang, let your nuts hang. Don't fuck with the gang, let your nuts hang. Don't fuck with the gang, with the gang. Pull up in that Rari, bitch. Fuck your girl, no sorry, bitch. See what it hit, and I toss her to the click. What you talking money? Yeah, we get that shit. TVS, 3K, fucking up the game, bitch. We turned up, you burnt out. You a bitch, yeah, you just chasing clout. Yeah, we got that grip, you should get some money, bitch. Mac 11, AK-47, let it rip. Fuck with the gang, let your nuts hang. Don't fuck with the gang, let your nuts hang. Don't fuck with the gang, let your nuts hang. Don't fuck with the gang, with the gang. Fuck with the gang, let your nuts hang. Don't fuck with the gang, let your nuts hang. Don't fuck with the gang, let your nuts hang. Don't fuck with the gang, with the gang. Fuck with the gang and you'll end up 6 feet. If you're fucking with sick, then you're fucking with skeets. You could catch us on the streets, we always back in heat. If it wasn't for the gang, then who the fuck I'd be? My gang can't be beat, TVS, big gas, go click. If you're talking shit, man, we pull up with that stick. We quick to take your bitch, what can I say? She's the one that keeps on walking over our fucking way. But don't fuck with the gang, let your nuts hang. Don't fuck with the gang, let your nuts hang. Don't fuck with the gang, let your nuts hang. Don't fuck with the gang, with the gang. Fuck with the gang, let your nuts hang. Don't fuck with the gang, let your nuts hang. Don't fuck with the gang, let your nuts hang. Don't fuck with the gang, with the gang.
Emma?
Yeah, kinda.
Have you ever been interested in gardening with dry fertilizers? Well, you're not the only one, and let me tell you about Vermicrop Organics and their line of organic dry fertilizers. Healthy plants with a simple 4-step process. Step 1. Just measure out a half teaspoon per gallon of soil or 2 cups per 12 square feet of soil surface area. Step 2. Apply evenly to the soil surface. Step 3. Blend into the top layer of soil to avoid caking. Step 4. Water thoroughly. And that's it, simple as that. Great for vegetables, fruits, flowers, potted plants, trees, shrubs, annuals, and perennials. It's Vermicrop Organics VermiVeg 744. Along with the VermiBloom and PK Boost, you will have a complete line of organic nutrients and a garden that will thank you with a great harvest. Looking for an even simpler way? Then check out the Vermiall 666. This game-changing mix is formulated for all stages of growth in the fast-paced garden of champion vegetable and flower growers. And check out the VermiBat Guano Fertilizer and the VermiBlood Blood Meal Fertilizer for feeding oversized, nitrogen-hungry plants. Learn more at vermicrop.com. That's vermicrop.com.
Dr. Duffman here. Wanted to talk to you about what I wish I had in my garden. And that, my friends, is a Nanolux double-ended fixture, which is leading the industry as I speak in double-ended technology. I will no longer need 10 150-watt lights to cover my 5x5 area. With just one double-ended fixture from Nanolux, I can cover that area. Also, no more need for that pesky Rooster timer of mine that goes off at all kinds of random hours. With Nanolux's fixture, it comes NCCS ready, meaning I can control it on my computer. So if you're like me and your lighting situation sucks, then upgrade to Nanolux's double-ended fixtures today, and don't be a duff man. For more information on Nanolux, check them out at nanoluxtech.com. That's NANOLUXTECH.com.
Hey man, it's Dr. Duffman here, bro. You're listening to DSCRadio.com. Oh, DSCRadio.com. Oh, hey man, it's Dr. Duffman here, bro. You're listening to
Manila to Mendo, Santiago to San Diego, the war rages on. Everywhere gardeners struggle against the chains of tyranny. Growers fight for their inalienable right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of higher yields. Voices around the world are raised in a chorus exclaiming, "No more! No more weak potting soils! No more trying to grow plants in a soil that doesn't have enough nutrients to sustain life." The people are rising up and demanding Sanctuary Soils Victory Brand Superior Garden Mix. Victory Garden Mix, a blend of the best composted forest humus, peat moss, and perlite. Victory Garden Mix, teeming with worm castings, humic shale ore, fish, shrimp, crab, and kelp meal. Victory Garden Mix, rich with dolomite and gypsum lime, glacial rock dust, oyster shell, and azomite. The people cry out in unison proclaiming, "We demand the freedom to grow the best plants possible in the best soil available." Sanctuary Soil is answering your call, freeing you from the shackles of inferior soils. Sanctuary Soil's Victory Brand Superior Garden Mix, the best, highest quality planting mix available anywhere, is now available to you by the bag or by the truckload. For more information, contact your local hydroponics store or go online to sanctuarysoil.com. Sanctuary Soil's Victory Brand Superior Garden Mix, because together we can grow it.
Don't you put that evil on me!
Heavy T.
Hey, I'm in the zone! Dude, this shit is
What is? Hey, are you a soil grower and tired of using salt and synthetic-based fertilizers and not getting the results that you wanted? Well, for hydroponics, those products work great. But in soil, they suck. all those feeding schedules are out of range for what we think is good for soil growers. Mission Fertilizer is a new product on the market that's specific to soil gardening. They have a Grow, Bloom, and Boost. It's a super premium organic 1 part grow, 1 part bloom, and 1 part boost. It's a feeding program that can be used in bagged soils like Ocean Forest and Happy Frog, Victory Mix, or Empire Builder, even Roots Organic, Royal Gold, and so forth. It can be used in any soil mix. Super simple to use, 1 part grow, 1 part bloom, and 1 part boost to get the most out of your garden. It's organic listed, pH stable, and safe to use with tap water. No need to ppm or EC or pH your tap water if you're mixing in Mission Fertilizer liquid. Go to missionfertilizer.com, grow the best, and see the proof is in the plants.
DFCRadio.com.
Heavy T hooked me up, man. Thanks.
That's right, that's right.
DFCRadio.com.
What is? I just want to give a shout out to Horty Chris and myself who got on the scale to make sure that we were accurate with our grand prize. And we said we were going to, as we all did, but one person, I guess, is going back on it, which is not a big deal because, listen, there's only one reason to be skinny and have full head of hair, and that's to be fucking. And I'll tell you right now, ain't no one's mind changing listening to this show that you tell the number coming off that thing that thought, hey, you know what? I was going to fuck Jerome until he said that he was 450 pounds. No, I won't. But nonetheless, those are the only 2 reasons to be in shape. So you fucking over there, Dylan?
Yes.
All right. You know. That you stay in shape because you scared that you're going to stop fucking once you get fat.
I don't want to stop.
I'm not scared. I'm not scared. Some people scared.
I'm scared of stopping fucking.
I mean, people have eyes, like I said. We ain't tricking no one, but it's all good. We're not going to do it. Allegedly, some people keep their word, and other people just cackle at the idea. That was my best imitation of Popeye, the
Popeye.
Grow Man. I'm strong to the finish until I get on the skizzle. Jerome. Anyways, what's up, Jerome? You ready to do this? What's going on? Hold on, we got a Jerome. There's another Ja-Rome.
Whoa.
Ja-Rome.
Yo, what's good?
Lord of mercy.
What's going on,
It's the
Doc?
real Jerome.
How much you weigh?
I weigh 350.
Nice.
You sound like Jordans.
Could be. Is this Jordabs?
Nah.
Yeah, whatever, boy. Yeah, it sounds like it ain't, but it is.
It don't matter who you are. What you got to say?
Hey, Jerome, are you getting the same yield as the Blue Dream?
Look, just ask
How
Juicy
come you didn't want
J.
to get on the scale, bruh?
What? Because that shit ain't calibrated, dog.
He said, ask Juicy J. Juicy J will step on the scales. Jiggity Jerome can't.
All right. Well, nice talking to you.
Yeah, thanks
Bye.
for calling, guy.
Thanks, man.
Big Mike. Who's this? Hello.
It's Big Mike.
Caller.
Mike.
Yo, Big Mike.
Dylan, can you go call in from the other room so you can win? Come on, bro. I got free cat design for you. All right. Well, I guess we lost all of our callers. Screener mark, thank goodness, because it wasn't very climatic, was it? Go to Green Coast Hydro,
The grand
talk to our
prize
man.
question.
Talk to our man over here. I already had our grand prize question. I don't give a fuck.
No one answered it.
I lost it.
Thank you, Dylan. Much
Thank
love.
Thanks for
Let's get high as
Thank
fuck.
you for having me on.
Have a good time. Shout out to Chef Mike. Go follow Cooking on High on Netflix. Jiggity Jerome. It's all good, man. We got nothing but love up in the club.
Wait a second. You just gave out the grand prize answer.
Yeah, because
bro.
he's over it because it's the Heavy Tea show.
Yeah, because it's 10:06 and I'm done begging you to be a part of the show, and now you're not part of it. Bye.
All right. Other than that,
we are
Union time, right?
You still part of it, bro. Come on, bro. You got weird stuff. That's fucking. You're not my monkey.